He swung on and hit the air to right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Blaze Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! Drew Ludbauer, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps on the back for one out, throws to first, and he's in time, a double play.
And that one is gone! Joe and Abner!
Swinging a high drive, left field deep. Bolzano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. P.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his second season covering Newport Gulls baseball, here's play-by-play broadcaster Dave Peck.
Newport is 4-1 in its last 5 games and look to keep it going tonight as they face off against the New Bedford Bay Sox here at Cardines Field. First pitch, 6:35. Dave Peck with you, getting you set for baseball on Newport County Prevention Night, where 250 free fidget spinner pens will be given away at the ballpark, courtesy of Newport County Prevention Coalition. The Gulls, now 10-6, own the sole spot atop the Southern Division standings. They come off that crucial 7-5 win over the Valley Blue Sox on Monday night, a game where David Steele picked up the win. Nate Ryder earned his league-leading 5th save of the season. Offensively, it was the Wake Forest product, Logan Harvey, who led the way. 3 for 4, 2 doubles, a single, and 3 RBI. Newport is atop the statistical category in average. They have a .320 clip so far this season. The Gulls will face off tonight against the Bay Sox, who are 9-8. Currently 5th in the Southern Division standings, but just a game and a half back. It's been a tight race the entire season. They're coming off a loss last night, 7-6 to the Mystic Schooners. Offensively, they are led by Jake Winkler, who holds on to a .364 batting average. Pitching, they're 4th in the NECBL with a .373 earned run average. It's the Gulls and the Bay Sox right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts right now. Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Dave Peck alongside Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton and the voice of the New Bedford Bay Sox, Brendan Howe. Aram, we'll start with you. Newport 4-1 in their past 5 games, currently 10-6 first in the Southern Division. What's been the key for them in this stretch?
Well, those 4 wins came at Cardines Field. I mean, the Gulls love playing here. They're 7-2 at home on the season. I mean, they've struggled a little bit more on the road, and that's something I think they'll adjust as it goes on, as the season goes on. The other thing has been the bullpen has been phenomenal. Nathan Ryder's been the anchor in the closer role. He's been getting 2-out saves. He's yet to give up a run in 11 innings so far this year with 4 saves already. So between the bullpen and playing at home, it's been a nice little combination for the Gulls.
Offensively, the team is batting .320. That is first in the NECBL. A couple of newcomers in this past week. Tim Tawa out of Stanford. He's batting .455 so far this season. What has impressed you about the Stanford product?
Well, Tawa's done a great job of setting the table for the top of the order, or for the middle of the order. He's battling up there, not striking out very easily. He's just been a tough out, simply just putting the ball in play, and he's been a grinder. And that's exactly what the Gulls need to set the table, like I said, for those big bats, 3, 4, 5. All
right, Brendan, we'll toss it over to you now. New Bedford currently 9-8, 5th in the Southern Division, but only a game and a half out of the first place spot. It's so close. 36 stolen bases. How much of that does it make up for the lack of extra base hits that the Bay Sox have this season, or how much is it on purpose? That's what they're trying to do.
Well, it's something the coaching staff preaches every day, Dave. It's something that they work on in batting practice, and they work on outside of games and practice on off days as well. It's bunts, it's taking pitches, it's making pitchers work and throwing them off speed stuff, and just trying to make them miss and force tough pitches late in the at bats, 3-2 counts, 2-2 counts, whatever it may be.
The Bay Sox hold on to a 3.73 earned run average. That is 4th in the NECBL, but they have 30 errors behind them. That's 11th in the league. Is that something that has been costing them, or have the errors kind of come at, all things considered, good points along in the game?
Well, I mean, errors never can come at a good time, but I mean, it's all about, they happen early in the games, and the bullpen's really there to clean up the mess. Tower Zell and CJ Dandino and Michael Young all come to mind. They all have ERAs, 2 of them under 1 and 1 just over 1, Dandino with a 1.34. So it really comes at not key times in the games where it could cost them too much, and the bullpen's always there to back them up.
Now, you guys have a great record at home. On the road, not so much. Similar to the Gulls, actually. What's going to be the key to coming here to Cardines and steal a win?
Well, we obviously know coming in here that the Gulls are a great home team. You mentioned it's 7 wins at home this season, so it's definitely going to be tough for the Bay Sox. They're just going to have to score runs in timely situations, bunts, like I said, sacrifice situations. They lead the league in sac flies, so certainly going to be a key part of their game tonight.
All right, it's the Gulls and the Bay Sox in a Southern Division clash. For Brendan Howe and Aram Layton, I'm Dave Peck. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the NECBL Broadcast Network pregame show. I'm Joe DeLeon for today's edition of Ask a Goal, where we take social media questions from fans that we accumulate over Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And staying with me today for this week's edition of Ask a Goal is Stevie Mangrum. How are you doing today, Stevie?
I'm doing good.
So the first question we have from a fan is, when did you first start playing baseball?
I think I was around 8. Before that, I used to snowboard and ride bikes, and then got into baseball when I was around 7 or 8, and then ever since then I've loved it. So
That's a pretty big transition to go from a sport like you said, snowboarding, then to baseball. What ended up giving you that type of move?
I mean, all the kids around that age used to they kind of got into team sports, so it involved like soccer, football, basketball, baseball. So I kind of was introduced to that in that area, and then I just loved baseball ever since. So
Gotcha. So the next question we have is actually from Dylan Plew. And he wants to know, what was your favorite subject in school when you were in 5th grade? It's kind of specific, but I don't know if you remembered it or not.
Real class, science, enjoyed PE, enjoyed lunch. Again, lunch is not a class, but to me it was my favorite time of the day. So
I feel like it was for everybody in 5th grade. So the next question we have is, if you were drafted, what team would you pick to play for if you could?
Any of them. I'd go with any of them. But since I'm playing in this area, I'll say the Red Sox. So.
Not a bad choice. You definitely make a lot of fans happy with that one. So the next question we have is, what are the differences you noticed from playing in the ACC and the NECBL?
Talent level is all right there. Great baseball here. The only difference, this is just in general, is summer baseball versus school ball, is the scouting reports. In school ball, you've been playing with some guys over the course of years. You kind of get to know what pitchers are like, what hitters are like. Here, the rosters keep changing, new guys from different conferences. So you kind of have like a fresh start when you're facing these new players. So in summer ball, talent's there. I guess I would say the difference is kind of scouting reports and like game plans in college versus here.
So this next question is a little bit of an interesting one. Who would you consider to be the most high-maintenance person on the team? Like the person that has to have everything a certain way before every single game?
Definitely Cole Austin. Cole's out of control. Just good guy, but just definitely I need to discipline him a little bit by the end of the year. So, yeah, I definitely got Cole.
All right, so this last question that we have before we get to the normal riddle that we go for, and this was an actual fan question that somebody commented. What are Saturdays for?
I guess winning away games for the Gulls.
Wait, do you actually not know that we're supposed to? Never mind.
I know.
Okay.
I'm going to throw that out there.
All right. The last thing that we have and we typically have been doing is riddles, and Jack Ethings managed to get last week's. Apparently he knew it beforehand, but this week's is So this week's riddle is, what island was the largest before Australia was discovered?
Fiji?
That's incorrect. You only get one try, so we're gonna see if we can pass it on to next week. Hopefully nobody in the dugout gets it. But that is it for Ask a Goal on today's segment. I'm Joe DeLeon, sending things back to you in the booth.
Welcome back to the NECBL pregame show. I'm Dan Byford here alongside Jake Eater, the new arrival. Jake, what's your repertoire like as a pitcher, and what do you believe that you bring to this team?
Right now I'm throwing 3 pitches, or actually 4 seam, 2 seam, slider, and changeup. So, I'm just gonna throw them and let them work.
All right, so would you say any one of those pitches is your put-away pitch? You had more strikeouts than innings pitched in college this year, so I would imagine you're a strikeout pitcher.
I mean, I don't really think about that stuff. I just go out and throw. I mean, if I had to say a put-away pitch, it'd be a slider. Throw it hard and let it work.
So what do you think Do you think having a live fastball helps with a slider since it's hard to pick up the movement on it?
Yeah, I mean, it allows you to throw off of it. So, you know, if you follow up a hard slider with a fastball, it can be effective.
So you have some versatility as a guy that has both started and come out of the pen in college this year. How do you think that's going to help you here with the Gulls?
I mean, it's just whatever they want me to do. I'll do it. So that's what it comes down to.
All right, and so you played some pretty tough competition for a pretty long time, longer than some of the other guys on the team into this year. How do you think that's going to help you here against the NECBL competition you'll be facing?
I mean, it'll help. Obviously, I mean, faced a lot of good guys in college, so you know, coming into here, it's there's not really much of an adjustment.
As a lefty, is there a way that you face right-handed hitters different than when you face fellow left-handed?
Just attack them.
All right, fair enough. And having one of your teammates here on the team, how's that help the adjustment for you?
I mean, it's nice to have Jason. I mean, all of us at school are really close, so you know, having him here is cool.
And what's it like to come here and immediately be in first place? How does that feel?
I mean, you know, I didn't do anything to get him here, but it's nice.
All right, thanks a bunch. The NECBL pregame show continues next.
Welcome back to the pregame show. Aram Layton here with Gulls first baseman and DH Dalton Reed. Dalton, is there anything in specific you've been working on at the plate since you've gotten to Newport? You lead the league in runs scored. You're second in home runs. What have you been working on at the plate with your approach?
I've just been trying to get a good pitch to hit. I incorporated a leg kick since I've got here, so I'm trying to get used to that still. But once timing gets down, the ball's really flying.
And so you played in the Northwoods League last year. Now you're here in the NECBL. How do the leagues compare, and how do you think it'll prepare you for SEC baseball when you arrive at the University in Kentucky this season?
I mean, the leagues compare quite a bit. We don't play as many games here, which I like. You get more off days. I feel like the competition and the pitching's a little better here, but that could be just me. But I feel like everybody here is really trying to win every single game and not worried about playing 70 games a season.
And so you've assumed the DH role for this team, which is a little difficult because if you have a tough at-bat at the plate, you got to go back to the dugout and sit and think about it. How have you handled that role, and is that a role you've had in the past?
Actually, I might have DH'd 2 times in my life until I got here. So I had to get used to it pretty quick. But just take it after a bat, like you having a bad at-bat, you just got to try to find something else to do or think about. So just really tune into the game and just try to get your mind off stuff while you're sitting over there.
Well, thank you so much, Dalton. Aram Layton with Dalton Reed, and the pregame show continues on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show. It is time for the Coach's Corner. Dave Peck alongside manager Mike Coombs.
What's up, Dave?
Coach, you had a day off yesterday?
Yes, had a great day off. Did a little shopping, a few bevies, a little dinner, so it was all good.
Is there a spot in particular that you like here in Newport?
Yeah, I come here for 3 reasons. 22 Bowens, Black Pearl, and the Cookhouse.
I like the Black Pearl a lot. You ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes.
How did you think?
Johnny Depp. He's my man. He doesn't take anything from anybody. He calls it like it is.
How big was the win on Monday? 11-3 team, Valley, defending champs. Is that a measuring stick for you guys?
It's some kind of stick, but I don't know if it's a measuring. It just, it's a ball game early on, and both teams want to win and want to impress and get separation going, and they played us tough. They came back, and we pitched and hit, so it was a good game.
Logan Harvey had 3 RBI, couple of doubles. He's a veteran on this team. Has he emerged as one of the leaders on this squad?
I think so. In summer baseball, sometimes you don't designate a captain. That's pretty much not what you do, but he's definitely somebody that the other guys look up to.
Now, only 4 stolen bases on the year for Newport. That's last, but hasn't really mattered. Batting .320, that's first, and you lead offensive statistical category after category. Is that a number you guys care about, and you trying to get that up or not really?
Stolen bases?
You're playing the number 1 ranked stolen base team.
I'm going to tell you something, but it'll be later, not on the air.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mike Coombs exclusive, Dave Peck. The Gulls and the Bay Sox are up next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Once again, here's Dave Peck and the Newport Gulls broadcast team.
Just 1.5 games separate the first place Newport and the 5th place New Bedford as we get set for Game 4 between the Gulls and the Bay Sox. Dave Peck here at Cardines Field, joined alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Andre Olivier, the voice of the New Bedford Bay Sox, Brendan Howe, and Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton. The Gulls now sole possession of the first place spot in the Southern Avengers. They stand at 10-6, coming off that 7-5 win over the Valley Blue Sox, who are in first in the North. And David Steele picked up the win. He went 6.1 innings, his longest outing of the season. Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, walked 3 and struck out 5, but it was Nate Ryder once again. He picked up his 5th save of the season, and it was a 6-out, 1 at that. No hits, just walked 1. Logan Harvey offensively 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 3 RBI. Tawa added a 3-4-4 night as well. So Newport continues to roll. They are 4-1 in their last 5 games, and they have had a lot of success at home. 7-2 so far this season at Cardines Field. As I bring in my broadcast partner, Brendan Howe. Brendan, how are we doing today? It's always good to have you here in Newport.
Doing very well. I'm happy to be here, and hopefully we can get this one in.
So New Bedford coming off that close 7-6 loss yesterday versus the Schooners. And the Southern Division, it's so close. New Bedford's in 5th, but only a game and a half back. And to come in here, take one from the Gulls at Cardines, that would be huge for them.
Absolutely. It was a 7-6 loss at the hands of the Mystic Schooners last night. A game the Bay Sox probably should have won. There was a lot of errors between the teams in that game last night. 11 combined, 6 for Newport County Bay Sox, 5 for the Schooners. So really the Bay Sox, if they can just clean up the field and the bullpen was solid. So if they can come in with timely hits, which they haven't been able to do much either in 2018, they should be okay.
New Bedford 9-8, 5th, like we mentioned, and have a team 256 average. That is 5th in the NECBL, 139 hits. That is 7th. As I welcome in Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton. Aram, you know, we've talked to a lot of these Gulls players. We've talked to the coaches. You know, it's still early in the season, but just from gathering all this information, what do you think the mood of the team is so far?
Well, they're definitely motivated. They've had a little bit of momentum, winning 4 of their last 5. The one challenge is winning away from Cardines Field. Like you said, they're 7-2 at home, struggles on the road, and you're going to have to be able to win on the road if you want to continue to have a successful season and potentially do well in the playoffs. And, of course, in Newport, you're playing for a title with 6 already. The attitude, it seems like there's a very positive attitude. The team really seems to be rolling, as we said, 4 out of their last 5, and they got to keep it moving tonight.
It's the Gulls and the Bay Sox here in Newport with a .320 average. That is first in the NECBL. They're leading in average runs, hits, doubles, home runs, RBI. They have 73 walks as the festivities here at Cardines Field continue on the field. Pitching, 5.37 earned run average. It's something that they've kind of had to deal with on and off, inconsistency, but as of late, they've been getting a lot of good outings, especially from the bullpen, Nick Enright, Nate Ryder.
Well, that's the thing. The starting rotation has struggled a little bit, but the bullpen has been picking them up, and we know Newport can score runs, as you said, leading in almost every offensive category. So they don't even need to be lights out on the mound. They just need to keep the other offense at bay, and if they know that they can put up 5 to 6 runs a game on average, then there shouldn't be too much of a concern as to pitching. So Ryder's been unbelievable. Hasn't given up a run yet this year. 11 innings and still hasn't given up a run. He's been stretching to 2 inning saves. He's been doing everything you can do, and if the bullpen can keep holding up their end of the bargain, the starters don't have too much pressure on them.
It's Newport County Prevention Night here at Cardines Field. First 250 fans will receive fidget spinner pens courtesy of Newport County Prevention Coalition. We'll be right back and get you to baseball. It's the Bay Sox and the Gulls up next here in Newport, Rhode Island. Send it down on field for the national anthem and the honor guard. Brought to you by Newport Fire Department.
Here to sing the national anthem tonight is Patrice McKinley. She's a vocal performance major at Florida State. and attended Berklee College of Music in Boston to hone her jazz vocal skills. And during this time, she also became a certified life coach.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you again to the Newport County Prevention Coalition.
Very nice national anthem sung this evening by Patrice McKinley here on Newport County Prevention Night. We'll get you the scores around the NECBL and updated standings when we come back right after this on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Southern Division matchup here between the Gulls and the Bay Sox, but we will get you around the league for the update. Here is Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton. Aram.
Well, Dave, around the league last night, Winnipesaukee took down Upper Valley by a score of 5-3. Keene beat Ocean State 6-2. Sanford fell to Danbury 8-5. Mystic beat New Bedford 7-6, and North Adams blew out the Vermont Mountaineers 16-5. As we look at the standings, only 3 games separate the first place Gulls and the last place Danbury Westerners in the Southern Division, as New Bedford, tonight's opponent, only trails by a game and a half. Looking at the Northern Division, the Valley Blue Sox are way ahead at 11-4. The next closest team would be the Sanford Mainers at 9-7, 2.5 games back.
Thank you, Aram, and we'll get you right to the starting lineup here for first the visiting Bay Sox. Take you through that. Here is Brendan Howe.
Leading off for the Bay Sox tonight is the second baseman Logan Allen. He'll be followed by the shortstop Jack Winkler, the catcher Andrew Raposa behind him, Ryan Markey doing the cleanup duties at third base, Buddy Hayward in the DH spot batting fifth, Sam Henry batting sixth over at first, Rafe Chalmette out in center field batting seventh. Behind him, Thomas Sato in right, and rounding out the New Bedford lineup is Christian Ibar in left.
Thank you, Brendan, and they will face off against Russell Smith, the lefty from Texas Christian University. And so far on the year, Smith is 1-1, has a 4.61 earned run average in 3 games, all of which were starts, giving up 14 hits in 13.2 innings. He's walked 8, but struck out 17. The 6'9", 240-pound lefty out of Midlothian, Texas, drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 2017 draft in the 38th round. His last performance was his best that 23-5 win over Danbury. 5.1 innings, just 1 run. It was not earned. He gave up 6 hits, walked 1, and struck out 10, and that was good enough to earn him Week 3 honor roll nominee for the NECBL. As the Gulls take the field here at Cardines, we will get you their lineup as they are dressed in their all-white uniforms. Newport, a couple of changes here for Mike Coombs' team. Leading off today is Tim Tawa out of Stanford. He's in center field. Zach Britton is behind him in the 2-hole at first base. Cody Hosey bats third, playing third, and he's from Tulane. Cleanup hole, Stevie Mangrum, right fielder from Virginia Tech. The designated hitter this evening is Zach Hoagson out of Arizona State. He bats fifth. John Mazza bats sixth. He's catching from Northeastern. Dylan Plew plays second from Washington State. He bats seventh. Jason Gonzalez is at shortstop, making his first appearance with the Gulls. He's from Vanderbilt and bats eighth. And Liam O'Regan rounds out the lineup in the 9-hole, playing left field from Elon. Weather here in the city by the sea. It's a little overcast, but the sun is working its way here onto the field. 68 degrees, 0% chance of precipitation, 10-mile-per-hour winds, as you see the flag there coming off the water at the Discover Newport Center in Newport, Rhode Island. The umpires for today's ball game. Home plate is Cameron Haney. The first base ump is Joe Gravina. Third base is Tyler Bullock. At Cardines Field, Newport with a 7-2 record at home. They have loved playing in front of the Gulls faithful. Always interesting here. We've seen a lot of wacky plays with the very unique field dimensions here at Cardines. Left field is 315. Left center is 365. It's 395 out to dead center. Then comes back into 315 in right center field. And then right field, short porch, 285. The fence is 28 feet high all the way around. Fence made up out of the property lines of those houses. Also the playground over that left field fence. Newport in the dugout closer to home plate as they're both on the same sides. First base line. Base Sox are in the away dugout. That is just a little bit to Newport's right. As you see right there, closer to first base. We'll get you the defensive alignment here for the Gulls. Cody Hosey playing third. Jason Gonzalez at short. The second baseman is Dylan Plew. Zach Britton plays first. Outfield, left to right. Liam O'Regan, Tim Tawa, and Stevie Mangrum. The catcher this evening is John Mazza. Newport has made 21 errors on the year, tied for fifth in the NECBL. As here comes Logan Allen to face off against the tall lefty Smith. First pitch fastball catches the outside corner for strike one, and we're underway here in Newport. 6:36. First pitch on the eastern seaboard. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Smith getting ahead early.
Allen's been really struggling recently in these last couple of games. This is his first game batting in the leadoff spot, coming in at 222, no home runs, 7 RBIs.
Here's the 0-2 from Smith. It's a changeup in there for strike three. He caught him looking one up, one down here in the top of the first.
Can't ask for a start much better than that from Smith. 3 pitches and a strikeout. Sends Allen back to the dugout.
The Bay Sox batting .256 as a team. That is fifth. They have 19 doubles. That is 12th out of 13. Only 5 home runs, which is last in the NECBL. It's something we talked about, Brendan, in the pregame show. And, 9-8, just a game and a half back of first as Jack Winkler digs in from the right side and takes ball one low. But they've been able to work around it generally, and a large part has been their efforts on the base paths.
Absolutely,
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up behind home plate. Mazza rips off his mask, but that'll get into the grandstands for strike one. Cardines Field opened its gates in 1908. Boxed in here by America's Cup Avenue to the west and West Marble to the south. Here's the 1-1 hit on the ground left side. That'll get in for a hit as it rolls into left field. O'Regan scoops it up on the hop, but it's a 1-out single here for Winkler.
That's what Winkler's been doing all season long. He started off a little bit slow the first couple of games, but has picked it up in a big way since. He came into this game .364, 1 home run and 10 RBIs. Obviously, that average just increased with that single with 1 away.
He's been good so far for the Bay Sox. He had a 2-for-5 evening yesterday with a couple of runs and an RBI. Here's Andrew Raposa. First pitch fouled up down the right field line, out of play. Raposa, the catcher out of Barry University, a rising junior. 6 foot 200 from New Bedford, Massachusetts. Here's the 0-1. This one line down the right field line as well, but that will get into West Marlborough Street for strike 2. So far this season against lefties, New Bedford is batting .233 in 133 at-bats. The 0-2 pitch, hit on a line into right field. That'll get down for a hit. And Mangrum has some trouble as it bounces off his glove, and that will allow Raposa to try and make it a double. The throw is not going to be in time. As Winkler advances all the way to third, it will be a single and then an error on Mangrum. And just like that, runners on second and third here with just one out.
Well, that's a heads-up play by both Winkler and Raposa to read Mangrum wasn't going to be able to handle that one off the tough hop out there in right field. They picked up the ball well, and now 2 runners in scoring position and a great chance for Markey.
They just had trouble with it. And it's, you know, the aggressive base running we talk about for New Bedford, putting themselves in a great position. Now they have Ryan Markey, who hit a grand slam last time these two teams met in that doubleheader matchup. First pitch, this one tagged to left center field. Regan going back to his left is able to settle under it. Tagging from third is Winkler as the throw is cut off by Gonzalez, and it's 1-0 Bay Sox.
I'll make it 13 sack flies on the year for the Bay Sox, good enough for first in the NECBL. That's what they've been able to do is, Dave, as you mentioned in the pregame show, the heads-up base running, and then the sack flies have really come into play. They scored 13 runs off of those.
Manufacturing runs, and you have to do that against an offense like Newport that puts up so many. They lead, like we mentioned, in so many statistical categories. Newport doesn't run very often, but they haven't really had to. Here's Buddy Hayward, first pitch curveball in the dirt. Nice stop by Mazza. The count moves to 1-0. 2 down here, top of the first inning. Bay Sox getting on the board first, 1-0. Raposa on third. Smith working from the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Changeup, swung on and missed for strike 1.
Hayward hasn't seen time in the Bay Sox lineup since the first week of the season. He's been primarily a pitcher. He's made 4 starts since that first week of the season, but
1-1 hit right off the end of the bat to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
His first time serving as the DH, usually plays first base, and with a 6'7" frame like he has, why not?
Out of Harvard, a rising sophomore. A couple of Crimson here in this lineup. Long pause here from Smith. Winds the deals, the 1-2. Fastball in there for strike 3. He caught him looking. Second strikeout of the evening. And Smith is able to strand Raposa on third, but the Bay Sox strike first off the sacrifice fly from Ryan Markey. They lead it 1-0 as we head to the home half of the first. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Newport Gulls baseball right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As welcome back to the ballpark here. Bay Sox on top, 1-0. Newport due up for the first time, and they will face off against Jared Schuster, rising sophomore out of Wake Forest.
Schuster coming into this start, his 5th of the season, 0-1 record in 20.2 innings pitched, 16 hits, 7 earned runs, 8 walks to 26 strikeouts, and a 3.04 earned run average.
Lefty on the hill. So far this season, Newport hitters are batting .289 against left-handed pitching. That's compared to their .338 average against righties. They do have 15 doubles. Struck out 61 times against left-handed pitching in 201 at-bats, so a smaller sample size for sure. It'll be Tawa, Britton, and Hosey leading things off for the Gulls. The Bay Sox wearing their away red tops with gray pants, red piping down the side, and Bay Sox written across the chest in blue outlined in red. Tawa batting .455 so far this season. A latecomer, but since arriving to the Gulls, he has been hot. 5 for 11, a run, 2 doubles, and an RBI. Playing center field this evening for Mike Coombs. Trying to answer back. First pitch from Schuster is a fastball taken low and outside for ball 1. Schuster winds and deals. 1-0 hit on the ground left side. Winkler going to his left, able to get the ball and throw it to first. One gone. So a quick out there. Winkler, nice job getting it out of his glove.
Winkler had a little bit of ground cover moving to his right there, was able to stab it on the backhand rather easily and make the throw over to first, and plenty of time to get Tower.
Here comes Zach Britton, adding .429 on the season. That is second in the NECBL, tied for first in the league with 7 doubles as well. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch, fastball taken for strike one. Britton 6'1", 195. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball just misses off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last season he had a .239. As that fastball misses high, now 2-1 for Louisville. Played in 38 games, 16 runs, 6 doubles, 2 home runs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That fastball's high again, so 3-1 here. Schuster's working quickly.
Schuster is one of the quicker workers that the Bay Sox have in their rotation. Does not like to waste any time.
The 3-1 offering. This one spoiled foul into the netting down the third base line. Schuster pitched in the first game of the NECBL season back on June 5th against Newport. He got the win. There was actually a no decision. The team got the win. 4.2 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits as the 3-2 pitch misses low for ball 4. So 1 out, but Britton is on with the walk. That was a game where Schuster struck out 10 Gulls. There were 18 total that the Bay Sox were able to get in that ball game. That really gave them a big head start in that statistical category. Since then, they do have 149 Ks. That's 4th. Here's Cody Hosey, first pitch swinging, popped up, right field line. Giving chase is Henry, but that will bounce in foul territory for strike 1. Hosey on a 6-game hit streak. Have been a couple of games where he hasn't played, but since he's been in the lineup, he has been productive. 352 average, 19 hits, 5 doubles, 4 home runs, 14 RBI. The 0-1, Britton was off, but this one was fouled down the third base line. Now 0-2 to the Tulane Green Wave. Newport coming into this ball game head-to-head against New Bedford, batting .250. 25 hits, 19 runs, 5 doubles. Schuster goes to first to check on Britton, nothing doing. You always got to bring up the 2 solo shots that Hosey had on June 5th against Schuster. Here's the 0-2. It's fouled off the end of the bat to the backstop. We'll reset and do it again. New Bedford against the Gulls, 6.12 earned run average. Here's the 0-2 hit on the ground towards the shortstop. Winkler flips it to Allen for 1 on to first. And that's a double play, 6-4-3, and Newport goes down without a run. Schuster faces the minimum, 1-0 Bay Sox right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. One nothing top 2 here in the city by the sea. Russell Smith back out on the hill. He will face Sam Henry, Roth Chalmette, and Thomas Seidel. 6, 7, and 8. It was Ryan Markey with the sacrifice fly in the first inning that plated Winkler. Trying to add to this 1-0 lead. Henry bats from the left side out of Southern New Hampshire University. Smith started his windup, then time was called.
Henry, also a guy that's featured in the Bay Sox lineup here tonight by Chris Cave, that is listed as a pitcher but hasn't seen much time in the field.
First pitch, breaking ball. That one misses inside, 1-0.
He's played just 3 games at first base, and the rest have been on the mound. 2 starts and 3 out of the bullpen.
Here's the 1-0. Fastball, foul to the backstop, 1-1. Just piecing it together, trying to find a lineup that works. Newport has a lot of shuffling in their lineup actually this evening. O'Regan out in left, Gonzalez playing short. Tawa in center for the second game as that one's hit on the ground right side. Plew, the second baseman, can't handle it as it got off his glove. And we'll see what they want to rule that. That will be an error for Dylan Plew, the second error of the ballgame for Newport.
Tough play. That was roped toward Plew off the bat of Henry. Good hustle by him getting down the line. I think Plew might have realized that he didn't have enough time and just let the ball eat him up.
So 1 on, nobody out. Here's Rafe Chalmette. He squares the bunt, gets it down the third base line. Hosey charging, gloves it. The quick transfer to first, and the throw is not going to be in time as it pulled Britton off the bag. And that will be a single there for Chalmette. Back-to-back base runners here for the Bay Sox.
Dave, I talked about it in the pregame show. Timely bunts for the Bay Sox is something they work on in batting practice every single day. Each batter gets 10 bunts apiece and works in situations just like that.
So Smith quickly in trouble once again. And now Mazza wants to go out and talk things over with the tall lefty. This past year for TCU, Smith was involved in 12 games, 3-2 record, second most starts with 11 at a 3.35 earned run average. First pitch to Seidel is a breaking ball that runs inside for ball 1. Seidel batting .250 on the year. He's got 7 hits, a couple of doubles. Does not have an RBI yet. Here's the 1-0. Fastball, this one just inside again, so 2 balls and no strikes. Seidel 6 foot 210. Mazza setting up inside. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It is inside, but it's just a little low. Now 3-0. Smith with 8 walks total on the year in 3 appearances. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's low inside for ball 4. So bases loaded. Now still nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Bay Sox do have a 1-0 lead.
It's only the 4th walk of the season drawn by Thomas Seidel. So some rare patience being shown there on a 4-pitch walk.
Bay Sox with now 67 walks as a team. That is 9th in the NECBL. Here's Christian Ibar. First pitch fastball, missing just a little low for ball 1. So Henry reached on the error by Plew. Chalmette with the nice bunt down the third base line. And then the walk. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a fastball, but it's inside as well. So now 6 straight balls from Smith. And here comes Kevin Winterow to try and calm him down. Now we mentioned the Bay Sox, a team that doesn't hit a lot of home runs, doesn't have a high slugging percentage, but this is what they do. They reach on error. Chalmette lays down a bunt. Seidel with the walk, and now they have the bases loaded. And Ibar is up 2-0.
Yeah, 66 walks as a team coming into the game tonight. So as you mentioned, small ball is New Bedford's game. Something that they've done well all season long and in prime position to push across another run.
Conversation is over. Newport at home with a 4.67 earned run average. 6.36 ERA on the road. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that one misses low and inside. Now 3-0. No place to put him. 3-0 pitch, fastball taken for strike 1. Smith is really going to have to battle back. 3-1 winds and deals. Hit on the ground, weakly to the shortstop, Gonzalez, who has to go to first, and he airmails it, and it goes all the way to the fence. Henry scores from third. Chalmette coming around, he will score as well, and it's 3-0 New Bedford. So another error. This one on Gonzalez. That was the first time that he has been tested so far at short for the Gulls. And just a little excited on the throw.
Yeah, realistically, the Gulls have just had a few mishaps in the field, and without those, we could still be in a scoreless ball game potentially.
Newport came into this game committing 21 errors, tied for 5th in the NECBL. So in the upper half. As Allen fouls the first pitch to the backstop, now 0-1. 3 errors already in this ball game for the Gulls. Bedford with 3 hits. Oh, 1 fastball well inside, 1-1. Top 2, 3-0 Base Sox. Still nobody out in the inning. Seidel on third, Ibar on first. 1-1 pitch, runner was off. This one is fouled off the foot of Allen. That'll move the count to 1-2.
Allen's a guy who's also drawn 5 walks on the season. Definitely a guy that does have some patience up there at the plate, hitting .222 as well.
Long pause here from Smith, and now Allen steps out to take some time. Here's the 1-2, fouled off his foot again. Lucky he has that shin guard on his left leg. So far this season against lefties, Allen batting .333, 2 for 6. Smith comes to the set. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball gets him to chase for strike 3, third strikeout of the evening for Smith. And there's 1 out in the second. That's a big K. Puts the double play ball in play to potentially end the inning. But here's Jack Winkler. He singled in the first and scored. Leading hitter for the Bay Sox this season. First pitch from Smith is foul tipped into the mitt for strike 1.
Now the Bay Sox know that they have to strike early and often. They're already up 3-0 in this game, but with an offense as good as the Gulls possess, definitely want to get out and score as many runs as possible in the early going.
0-1 pitch. Ibar was off. No throw. That will be a defensive indifference as he advances to second now. And Winkler batting .714 with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Only 1 here, but that is just a number that jumps out at you. 0-1 fastball misses low, 1-1.
He's not only been the Bay Sox best hitter all around the season, he's also been the Bay Sox best clutch hitter as well. Had a couple of doubles in games prior to this one where they tied up the ball game.
2-1, deep fly ball to left field. Origi giving chase into foul territory. He's able to make the catch, but it's deep enough. Seidel will tag from third. The throw into third base is not in time as Ibar was able to get under the tag. It'll go down as a sacrifice fly, and it's 4-0 New Bedford.
Well, if he can't pick up a hit, that's the next best thing for Winkler. Still score the RBI and stretch the lead out to 4-0.
So there are 2 down now. New Bedford. Back-to-back innings scoring runs. Here's Raposa. First pitch swinging, line down the right field line, foul. Was a singled and reached second on the error from Mangrum when he struggled to pick it up on the hop out in right field. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Tawa going back to his left, right at the fence, and it bounces off the O'Brien's pub sign in center. That will be an RBI double. 5-0 Bay Sox on top. That thing just kept carrying.
Yeah, talk about it. An impressive show of strength from Raposa. That ball jammed him inside a little bit, but he was able to muscle it all the way out to the O'Brien's Pub sign, that green sign up there in right center field. Just an unbelievable show of strength from Raposa, able to get that one all the way out there and score the RBI double.
Here is Ryan Markey. He had the sac fly in the first, and now time is called. And, that's the Cardines fence working in New Bedford's favor there as it comes in there around 3:15. No play for Tawa. First pitch to Markey, fastball off the plate, 1-0. Mentioned New Bedford, 9-8, fifth in the Southern Division, but just a game and a half back. We're almost to the halfway point. Later on this week, we will get there. This is game number 17. 1-0 breaking ball, misses low. Markey with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. 333 and 6 at-bats. Has a home run and 5 RBI. 2-0 pitch off the plate, 3-0.
Smith has somewhat struggled with his control while outing long. Another 3-0 count right here to Markey, and don't want to give him anything he can hit because Markey is a dangerous hitter up there.
Here's the pitch, and it's a fastball. Nice spot on the outside corner for strike 1.
And there's the control that Smith wants. If he can live out there all game long for the rest of his outing, I don't think he'll be complaining too much.
Comes to the set, leg lift. Here's a 3-1, and it misses low for ball 4. So it's actually just the second walk of the evening for Smith, but he hasn't had a lot of help from his field behind him.
No, definitely not. And it's something that the Bay Sox saw last night, too, against Mystic. 5 errors total for them in the ball game, and the Gulls already with 3 here tonight.
Buddy Hayward is up, but not before Mike Coombs comes out, and they will go directly to the bullpen. And it looks like it'll be Jeremiah Burke to come in. Long reliever usually starts games, now coming in the second. We will get you his stats and more when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. So an early pitching change here for the Gulls. It is Jeremiah Burke out of Georgetown on the hill. A rising junior there for the Hoyas, 6'2", 205, righty from Del Mar, New York. Making his 4th appearance of the season. He has an 0-2 record, 9.25 earned run average. Giving up 17 hits, walked 7, struck out 6 in 11.2 innings pitched. His last appearance was on June 21st at Ocean State. Picked up the loss in that 8-1 loss to the Wings. Gave up 7 runs off 9 hits, struck out 2. Here's Buddy Hayward. He struck out looking his first time up as he waves and misses on that first pitch for strike 1. Burke being asked to come in this long relief situation. Get you the final stat line for Smith as it comes in. As the 0-1 curveball bounces well outside, 1-1. As it stands now, 1.2 innings, 5 runs, none of which were earned, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1. It's a breaking ball that just catches the outside corner. Nice slider there for strike 2. 5-0 Bay Sox on top. 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Raposa on second, Markey on first. Those are Smith's responsibility. So 1-2 curveball, bounces 58 feet per ball 2. This is when you just, if you're Burke, throw strikes and, hope you get some help. No earned runs for Smith. That's just a very frustrating outing. Obviously, only 1.2 innings pitched as that one's hit on the ground. Weakly towards the second baseman. Plouffe scoops it up, fires it to first to retire the side. But the Bay Sox get 4 runs off 2 hits. They leave 2 runners on. And they lead it 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning, 5-0 Bay Sox on top. Schuster still on the hill. He will face Mangrum, Hogeson, and Mazza. He faced the minimum in the first inning after he got Hosey to ground into that 6-4-3 double play. It just seems like Newport really hasn't been up at all in this game. It's been all New Bedford.
Absolutely, and New Bedford's done a nice job, as we mentioned earlier on in the pregame show. It's what they would have to do against this explosive Newport offense that we've seen all year long, and they have the ability to strike at any time, so Schuster really has to stay at the top of his game. 5 runs, none of which were earned. First pitch to Mangrum is a fastball missing just outside for ball 1. Mangrum batting .359, 14 hits, 8 runs scored, a double, and 3 home runs. As the 1-0 is waved to miss for strike 1. Elevated fastball, just couldn't catch up to it. 1-1 offering, floating changeup, and it's off the mitt of Raposa outside for ball 2. Two-one, foul tip into the mitt. Schuster just going right after him. Waiting for them to get set, and then he starts his windup. Here's the break-even offering. Fastball just missing low and outside. We got a full count here to Mangrum. Yeah, even though that one was ruled a ball by the home plate umpire, that's still a great spot for Schuster to be living down there, down and away from the right-handed hitters in the Gulls lineup. 3-2 pitch, fastball in there for strike 3. Mangrum didn't think so. He was headed down the first baseline, but it's the first strikeout of the ball game for Schuster, and there's one gone. Yeah, I thought those calls should have been reversed. I thought the last pitch before that strikeout call was strike 3, and that pitch should have been ruled a ball, but not the case, and Mangrum's retired for the first out. If it did miss, it missed a little high. Regardless, there's one gone. Here's Zach Hogeson, designated hitter in today's ball game. Dolan Reed getting the day off. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, breaking ball waved over for strike 1. Nice fan attendance here today at Cardines Field on a Wednesday evening. 0-1 pitch, fastball, just a little outside, now 1-1. Hogeson, 313, 20 hits, 7 doubles, 3 home runs, and 13 RBI. And in that doubleheader, he was outstanding against the Bay Sox. 1-1 breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 2. Hogeson tied for first with those 7 doubles in the NECBL. 1-2 pitch, fouled off the netting down the third baseline. We'll reset and do it again. He had a grand slam, 2 home runs, a couple of doubles. That earned him NECBL Player of the Week. There's the 1-2 fastball in there for strike 3. Caught him looking on the outside corner. Second strikeout of the evening for Schuster, and there are 2 gone. Now Schuster's cruising right now. He's through an inning and 2/3 already, and faced the minimum. Doing a nice job mixing in his off-speed pitches with the changeups down and away, as well as the elevated fastballs, keeping Newport off balance. So here is John Mazza out of Northeastern doing the catching for Mike Coombs today. Steps in for the first time and waves and misses at a first pitch changeup for strike 1. Mazza batting .250, 6 hits, a double, 2 RBI. 0-1 pitch, chased and missed for strike 2. Schuster has had the Gulls numbers so far. They're guessing up there, or so it seems, just trying to figure it out, and a couple of times caught looking. Trying to find their rhythm. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball bounced in the dirt for ball 1. Yeah, the theme from Schuster in this at-bat has been slow, fast, slow. So if you're up there and you're Mazza, you're thinking probably fastball here. We'll see what he wants to do. Nods his head. Winds and deals the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball lined into left field. Ibar is able to make the play. It was right at him. Newport goes down 1-2-3 in the second. They still trail 5-0 against the Bay Sox. We'll head to the third. Don't go anywhere. You're tuning in to Newport Gulls baseball right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. 5-0 New Bedford. Out to a fast start as the lights are on here at Cardines Field. Jerry Burke still on the hill.
Coming in, the book is closed on Russell Smith, and nothing changed since the last time. 1.2 innings, 5 runs, none of which were earned off 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 13 base socks faced. Burke doing a good job getting that final out, getting Hayward ground out to Blue at second base. It'll be Henry, Chalmette, and Seidel, all of which scored last inning for the Bay Sox.
Leading off the third inning for the Bay Sox, the first baseman, number 50.
Henry reached on the error courtesy of Dylan Plew at second base. He'd love to repeat that same fate right here.
First pitch curveball bounces the nerve for ball 1. When Burke has struggled, it's been when he hasn't had that breaking ball, and when he misses, it's like that, low, not even close, around 59 feet. Here's the 1-0 line shot down the left field line, but foul. That'll move the count to 1-1, and actually against Ocean State, he was making adjustments to make sure he doesn't spike in, and ended up just kind of sitting right across the plate, and the Waves were really able to jump all over it, especially early on. Very aggressive approaches. 1-1 pitch, high fastball, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said the third base umpire Tyler Bullock. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, going back to your point about the curveball, Dave, that's something you run the risk with any pitcher, really, and you throw a curveball when it's either working or it's not, and it can result in a lot of runs or a lot of strikeouts. It's one of the two, usually.
Burke winds and deals the 1-2 pitch. This one spoiled foul off the netting. Henry 5'11", 185 from Middleborough, Massachusetts. 1-2 pitch, broken back grounder towards the second baseman. Plew scoops it up, fires it to first, 1 gone. Second time Plew's been able to make a nice little play there.
Yeah, Plew was making sure to secure that one that time against Henry. He grounded to him before, and it was a high throw that pulled Britton off the bag, but not that time. There was plenty of time for the throw to get over there to get Henry.
That one a little bit easier. Jam shot, broken bat. There's one down here in the top of the third inning. Here's Rafe Chalmette. Big swing and a miss on pitch number 1 for strike 1. Chalmette with the nice bunt down the third base line. Last inning, 0-1, fouled off the backstop, 0-2.
Chalmette got the past couple of days off. Coach Cave giving him a bit of a rest. He played almost every game through the first 2 weeks of the season, so trying to work him in and out of the lineup to get his energy back up to where it needs to be.
0-2 high fastball taken for ball 1. Cole Austin not in the lineup this evening. He's getting the day off. He's been in every single game so far for Newport. 1-2 fouled off the netting once more.
Chalmette has really caught fire over the past couple of games that he's been placed in the lineup. All of them at center field. 296 coming into tonight's action, but was down in the 220s last week.
Burke winds and deals. Slider misses off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the break-even offering. That one scooped up into right field. Mangrum going back to his left. It gets in there for a hit. Mangrum's able to cut it off and get the throw into Plew, but it's a 1-out single for Chalmette.
That was a fastball right in Chalmette's wheelhouse, down and in right where the lefties usually like it, and he was able to pull that one into right field and skip it right in front of Mangrum for the base hit.
Yeah, nice job. Quick hands there, able to get the bat around on the inside pitch. Second time he's been on, second hit of the ball game for Chalmette. Here comes Thomas Seidel. That's from the right side. He walked last inning. This pitch, fly ball center field. Tawa a couple steps in, now settles under it, reaches up and makes the catch. 2 gone. So Burke with a couple of quick outs. Despite that single from Chalmette, this is the quickest inning that a Gull pitcher has had up to this point.
Yeah, Seidel got a fastball that he thought he liked and just got a little bit under it and was able to lift it into center field, and plenty of space for Tower to squeeze it.
Here's Zybar. Mazza setting up outside, and late timeout is called. Pitch will not count. It was a curveball low. Would have been ball 1. Real frustration there from Burke. Zybar grounded to Gonzalez at short. Gonzalez airmailed it over Britton's head at first. A lot of adrenaline playing in his first game with the Gulls. First pitch, breaking ball in there for strike one. That one caught a lot of plays, like the adjustment, but it had a late break to it, so Ibar was full, and that's what Burke's going to have to do if he wants to be successful, second, third time through the lineup. 0-1, breaking ball misses in the dirt. Now 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ibar's weakness all season long has been chasing the off-speed pitches out of the zone, and like you said, Burke's curveball may not be working tonight, but that's been Ibar's Achilles heel, so perhaps he wants to throw one in down there in the dirt.
1 on, 2 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball left side. Gonzalez on the backhand, throws it across his body to first, and it is in time. Nice play there from Jason Gonzalez out of Vanderbilt, all the way in the hole and showing off the arm. Burke with the nice inning. Bay Sox leave 1 runner on. Can't get one across, but they lead it 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Midway through the 3rd inning, 5-0 Bay Sox on top, and that means it's time to send it over to Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton for a look around the league. Aram?
With Dave, the Valley Blue Sox are beating the Winnipesaukee Muskrats 6-1 in the top of the 4th. Plymouth and Keene are knotted up at 2 at the top of the 3rd. The Sanford Manors and Mystic Schooners are in the middle of a pitcher's duel, 0-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Vermont versus Upper Valley has been postponed, as well as Ocean State and North Adams. Both those games will be made up at a later date.
Well, keep an eye on that Plymouth Pilgrims game, 2-2, or 2-2 right now, but Pilgrims just a half a game back of the Gulls. They sit at 9-6 right now, and Newport will head to Plymouth tomorrow. First pitch to Dylan Plew is a fastball in there for strike one. It'll be Plew, Gonzalez, and O'Regan here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Schuster back out on the hill, lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 breaking ball just a little low. Plew on the year, batting .281, 16 hits, 6 doubles. 1-1 hit on the ground. 3rd baseman Markey can't get it. It bounces up over his glove and into left field, and that will be an error on Ryan Markey. As Plew is on to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Well, Dave, I know they teach you to stay low on those ground balls, but Markey was a bit too low that time. It exploded up on him at the last second, and had he been in a regular fielder's position, he might have been able to make that play. He was down on a knee. Couldn't field it.
Tough play as that one bounces inside. Easy advance there for Plew. He now stands on second. And you're right, he didn't get in front of it. He tried to field it, on the forehand, but kind of outside of his body, and that's what enabled the hop to kind of eat him up there. As little delay here, the catcher Raposa may have caught part of that ball. Trainer's coming out to make sure he's all right. This is Gonzalez's first at-bat with the Gulls. Out of Vanderbilt, a rising sophomore, 6'2", 205, and this past year, 44 games, 39 starts, had a .225 average. 31 hits, 21 runs, 3 doubles, 5 home runs, 28 RBI.
I think Raposa may have caught that ball somewhere on the lower body, and just giving him some water now to make sure he's all right. Looks like he'll stay in the game.
Trainer is exiting, going back to their designated area. Seems to be okay, and now he trots out to have a conversation with Schuster, maybe buy a few more moments. He had 2 hits, Gonzalez did, including a home run and an RBI in Game 1 of the Regionals versus St. John's. It was a 2-0 win for the Commodores. Vanderbilt ended up losing in the Super Regionals, lost 2 out of 3 to Mississippi State. 1 of 2 Commodores here. Jake Eater as well. First pitch to Gonzalez is a fastball outside for ball 1. 5-0, New Bedford still on top, bottom of the 3rd inning. Newport has gone down in order in the first and the second. They do have Plew on second now. 1-0 pitch misses low and outside. Schuster gets the sign from Raposa, working from the stretch. The 2-0, fastball in there for strike one. We had a little movement on it, but not the pitch that Gonzalez wanted. Nice take on the 2-0 count. Schuster sets the glove at the chest, takes a look at Plu, now goes to the plate. 2-1 pitch. That one is off the plate for ball 4. It was a 3-1 pitch. Now Gonzalez is on first. Runners on first and second. Still nobody out for Liam O'Regan.
Number 30, Liam O'Regan.
The Gulls have been able to make contact in this game, fouling off a couple of tough pitches and at-bats, and ultimately winding up in strikeouts, but a couple of walks as well. And they've had runners on base, but just haven't been able to cash in quite yet.
What they do often, foul off a lot of pitches, still do not have a hit. They have a couple of walks. Blues reach down the air as O'Regan digs into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, deep shot to right center field. Seidel going back at the fence, and it's off the top of the fence. Plu will score all the way from second. Gonzalez is being waved around as the throw is not going to be in time. It's a 2 RBI double for Liam O'Regan. And Newport cuts the lead to 3. It's now 5-2 Bay Sox.
Well, it's the first hit of the ball game for the Gulls. I wasn't going to say anything because didn't want to jinx a no-hitter, but that was a shot off the bat of O'Regan and off the 28-foot ball. If that's in New Bedford, that potentially a ground rule double or maybe even a home run.
That wing was still on the riser, had a lot of velocity off the bat. That's the second time that he's been able to do. The first one was actually at Paul Walsh Field. It was the long single off the left field fence. It hit it in the air. This time he is able to make it a 2-bagger. And played Plu and Gonzalez as well. Still nobody out. First pitch to Tawa is in there for strike one, but that's what you like to see. Newport, little by little, just trying to chip away at this as Schuster was rolling early on. Now the top of the order. Tawa grounded out to Winkler at short as that curveball misses low for ball one. Back in the first inning. I was 6 foot, 185 out of Stanford. West Lynn, Oregon. 1-1 pitch. Nice fastball located for strike two on the outside corner. A lot of Newport's approach this season, most of it has been, taking strikes that you don't necessarily want to hit and not giving opposing pitchers anything too much as he waves over that curveball for strike three. Third strikeout of the evening for Schuster.
Good time for Schuster to pull the string on the curveball with a 2-strike count. Got Tawa to wave and miss right over the top of it. And a much needed first out.
And it's not that Newport doesn't strike out a lot. They do. They have 154 strikeouts on the year. That is 9th in the NECBL, but for the most part, they get pitches that they can hit into the gap. As the curveball from Schuster is in there for strike one to Britton. And when they swing and a miss, generally they swing and a miss big. 0-1 fouled off the netting down the third baseline, now 0-2. Plu led off with the error from the third baseman Markey. Gonzalez walked, then O'Regan with that 2 RBI double off the right center fence. 0-2 pitch, just a little low, now 1-2. Britton walked his first time up. It was part of that 6-4-3 double play off the bat of Hosey in the first. Schuster gets the sign from Raposa, and Britton wants time. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball center field. Chalmette is able to settle under it and make the play for out number 2. No tag from O'Regan. Really didn't have to move too much.
On contact, I thought that was hit a lot further than it actually was. Chalmette didn't really have to move at all. Like you said, Dave, it took a couple of steps to his right, was able to corral that one, but solid contact there from Britton.
So 2 down. O'Regan still on second. Here's Cody Hosey batting .333 with runners in scoring position and 2 out. 6 at-bats, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. First pitch fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. Schuster from the stretch, sets the glove, leg kick, and the delivery. Curveball bounces in the dirt, 2-0. Nice stop from Raposa. Newport only with 4 stolen bases on the year. Not too inclined to steal a bag with the amount of power they have up and down the lineup. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fly ball right field. Seidel going back to his left. Settling under it now comes in, and he makes the catch, but it gave him some trouble as it was lost in the wind a little bit. Nonetheless, there are 3 down here in the 3rd inning. But the Gulls get 2 more off the 2 RBI double from Liam O'Regan. It's now 5-2 as we head to the 4th inning right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As welcome back to the ballpark. Top of the 4th inning, I'll send the play-by-play over to the voice of the New Bedford Bay Sox, Brendan Howe. Brendan?
Thank you very much, Dave. It's the top of the lineup for the Bay Sox. Logan Allen, Jack Winkler, and Andrew Raposa to do battle with Jeremiah Burke, who is back on the mound for his 2nd inning of relief. And Logan Allen watches a first pitch fastball inside for strike 1. 5-2, the Bay Sox lead it here at Cardines Field. Burke set with the 0-1, and Allen swings and sends this one down to 3rd baseline. Nice barehanded play by Chris Cabe down there.
Yeah, broke his bat on that one. Just off the end, he knew it right away. New Bedford leading the head-to-head, 2-1. Game 1, 5-4 for the Bay Sox, and then Game 2, that was fogged out, and then originally Game 1 of that doubleheader. Bedford ended up winning 10-8. Newport came back in Game 2 of that doubleheader to win 7-3.
So Allen looking to protect on 0-2. Burke working from the windup. He's set. Allen swings and sends this one towards shortstop. It's out of the glove of Gonzalez, and no throw for him as Allen will reach. That will go down. An error on the shortstop Gonzalez. His 2nd of the ball game. Then he'll bring up the shortstop Jack Winkler with 1 on.
Yeah, it was hit hard, but basically right at him, popped in and out of his glove. And, you know, Coach Coombs is trying some things out, trying to find a shortstop that can, you know, be an everyday guy. Austin has been doing a really nice job. He's been in every single game for the Gulls, 72 at-bats. That's most on the team, so he's getting the day off.
Allen's off for 2nd as Winkler goes first pitch swinging and sends this one way down the right field line, but out of play. Winkler is 1 for 1. He had a single in the 1st and later scored, and also had a sac fly in the 2nd. Looking to see what he can do here in the 4th with Allen aboard at 1st and nobody away. Burke slowing his pace with a man on. Now comes set at the belt. Slider misses downstairs. Nice stop by Mazza to keep Allen at 1st. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike now to number 30.
Against righties, New Bedford batting .263. 256 total.
1-1 pitch, and Winkler was forced to back out of the way of that once for ball 2. Fastball ran inside from Burke.
They're just a scrappy team, though. Find a way. And then all of a sudden, maybe you get the grand slam from Ryan Markey. That's what happened last time these 2 teams met.
Absolutely. The Bay Sox won't give you a barrage of base hits, but they'll find their way aboard as Winkler is now ahead 3-1 in the count. That ball skipped into the dirt. Another nice stop by Mazza, sliding to his left.
I hit many doubles, just 19. That's 12th out of 13 in the NECBL. Raposa does have 1. RBI 1 at that. Came back in the 2nd inning.
Burke set for the 3-1 pitch, and it's misses outside, so Winkler will head down to first with a no-out walk. 2 on for the Bay Sox now, and then that'll bring up Andrew Raposa.
First walk of the evening for Burke. So far, he's given up just 1 hit. He was good, getting the last out in the second, and hitting 3 out of 4 batters, giving up the single to Chalmette, but getting 2 quick ones afterwards last inning.
And Raposa had himself quite the night, 2 doubles. Comes the first pitch to him, a big swing and a miss, and that one is fouled off Mazza, and he'll take a walk around the plate and take a breather. Looked like he got him in the mask.
Yeah, I mean, Mazza is a guy that's getting beaten up a lot. It seems like wearing a lot of foul balls off the mask, and see right there, instantly took it off, took a couple hops, but tough guy. Northeastern Husky. Born and raised in New England there. Certainly knows how to rub some dirt on it. It's like the Peyton Manning commercial. I forget when that was, maybe 04. I don't know who he was talking to, maybe some kid, but he like broke his arm. He was saying, just rub some dirt on it.
So it's 2 on and no one away for Raposa. Burke set, kicks and deals, and another nice stop by Mazza behind the plate. He said to keep busy this inning, and now he wants some time, and we'll head out to talk to his righty. Been a lot of interesting Peyton Manning commercials over the years.
You know,
State Farm commercials come to mind.
Yeah, I mean those are a little more contemporary. My favorite one was definitely the
Papa John's.
Yeah, it was before that. It was some sort of a hotel commercial, and it's maybe MasterCard. It's like 2 nights in New England, and he's out with a cup of coffee, and the service is like, "Take a hike, man." And he's like, "I'll do that." Obviously, no one likes him in New England.
This one is popped in the air on the infield. It's Gonzalez coming in, and he loses it in the lights momentarily, but is able to make the catch for a much-needed first out of the inning.
Yeah, big out there, and Gonzalez with a little bit of trouble.
Already has 2 errors in the ball game, was able to avoid a third there, and that'll bring up Ryan Markey. Does not have an official at bat on the books yet in this ball game. A sac fly in the first and a walk in the second. Runner in scoring position in Logan Allen.
5 hits for New Bedford, just 1 for Newport. 3 errors for the Gulls.
Burke trying to keep the deficit right at 3. Here comes the first pitch to Markey. It's a fastball that misses down and away. 1-0.
With the day off yesterday, but
and now Coach Coombs wants time, and he'll take a walk out toward the mound.
Pitching coach Winter trying to calm down, see if there's anything brewing out there down the left field line. There is. It's the Dartmouth College product, Austin Michelle. Recently had a birthday last week, or possibly this Monday. We're only here in the top of the 4th inning. Bedford already threatening to get the second Gull pitcher out of the ball game.
Yeah, they haven't had much help behind them, as 3 errors in the ball game for the Gulls. So, as we mentioned, no earned runs for Russell Smith, the starter for the Gulls tonight. It's Allen off second and Winkler off first. Raposa popped out to the shortstop, and that gave way for Ryan Markey, who is at the plate now, facing a 1-0 count. Burke set, here's a pitch. Markey goes after it and lifts it down the right field line, over the stands and into the street.
Better call, Newport class.
Markey in the last 5 games, .316. 6 hits, 3 runs, no home runs, but 3 RBI.
Markey, since arriving to the Bay Sox, has really paid dividends, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side of things. It's been one or the other every night, it seems like. High fastball was in there for a strike, a fake throw from Mazza down to second base, but Allen was back.
Another interesting thing about the Bay Sox offense, they have 5 home runs on the year. They haven't hit one at home yet.
Yeah, Paul Walsh Field up in New Bedford's not exactly a hitter's park. It's 330 into the corners, 350 to right and left center, and 370 to dead center. So definitely a pitcher's ballpark up there. Spinning a look back toward Allen at second base. 1-2 is the count on Markey. One away in the Bay Sox half of the fourth. Burke with a long stare in at Mazza, now has a sign. This one is swung on, lifted in the air down the right field line. It is Mangrum has that one, and Allen thought about tagging for third, but decides to head back. So 2 gone now in the inning.
A couple of times he's gotten Bay Sox to pop up lazily. First it was Raposa, now Markey. No need to test the strong arm of Mangrum out there. Nice, smart play from Allen.
I'll bring up Buddy Hayward. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first and a ground out to second in the second.
With 2 outs, no reason to try and stretch to third.
Comes the first pitch to Buddy. He goes after a slider that was down and away. Good tailing action from Burke on that delivery.
Yeah, very nice pitch. No chance he was hitting it. Ended in the left-handed batter's box.
Burke trying to retire Hayward for the final of the inning. Another nice slider down and away again. That one caught more of the plate, but Hayward still came up empty.
Burke starting to find his groove.
So quickly 2 strikes on the 6-7 DH for the Bay Sox. Burke looking to retire the side. Here comes the 0-2, and it's a fastball, skips in the dirt. Mazza went to his right to stop that one.
Yeah,
1 ball and 2 strikes.
He was setting up outside. Not a bad pitch, 0-2. Don't want anything too much over the plate here. Just execute and get your last.
Burke set, looking to go after Hayward again with a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Changeup slapped toward the middle, but fielded easily by Plew, and he'll just tag the bag himself to retire the side. So the Bay Sox strand 2, and the lead stays at 3. It's 5-2. The Bay Sox lead it. Keep it with us on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, it's the heart of the Gulls order, 4, 5, and 6. Stevie Mangrum, Zach Hogeson, and John Mazza due up against the starter for the Bay Sox, who is still on the mound, and he's looked pretty solid so far, with the exception of the 2 runs on the board that came in the last inning.
3 innings, just 1 hit, 2 runs, only 1 was earned. He's walked 2, struck out 3 so far.
First pitch to Plew is launched, and that one is long gone. And that was Stevie Mangrum, excuse me. That one shocked me just as much as everybody else in the ballpark. The first pitch Mangrum sees from Schuster in the 4th is a home run.
Yeah, he wasted no time, and a nice souvenir out there over the left field fence for the kids on the playground. His 4th home run of the season. And Brendan, I saw him in the gym this morning. He was getting his work in, and you could see he had the pop on the bat there as he sent it a long way. And Newport, little by little, clawing themselves back into this ball game.
Yeah, Mangrum knew it too on contact. It sounded clean off the bat, and he just watched that one go. That was sent a long way, as this will bring up Zach Hogeson, who takes a look at strike 1. Now 5-3, the Bay Sox lead it. Right as I finished saying that Schuster looked pretty solid through his 3 innings of work.
That's how it happens.
Big swing and miss from Hogeson on the 0-1 pitch, a good changeup.
Now tied with Hosey and Dalton Reed on his team with 4 home runs. That's second in the NECBL. Cole Austin still tied for first in the league with 5.
This one is hit the opposite way, and that'll fall into the right of the chalk for a base hit. Hogeson thinking about 2. He's digging for it. And that ball rolled out of play as Ibar could not find it underneath the fence. So it will be a no-out double for Hogeson.
Yeah, slicing away from Ibar. No play, no chance. It rolled all the way to see kick into the bullpen there. And Ibar had to dodge some coolers, dodge some gloves, and some merchandise. Luckily he didn't get hurt. That is the 8th double of the season for Zach Hogeson. He leads the NECBL.
That'll bring up John Mazza with a great chance to drive in the 4th run of the ballgame for the Gulls. It's Hogeson just 180 feet away from crossing the plate. Mazza flew out to left field back in the second inning as he takes a first pitch fastball up and away from him for ball 1. Comes a 1-0 pitch. This one is sent on the ground toward first. Henry is there to field that one and will tag the bag for the first out of the inning, but Hogerson advances to third on the play.
Yeah, can set up Dylan Plouffe with a sacrifice fly, only just 1 out. You know, it's something that Newport does, well, better than anybody in the NECBL. They have a .517 slugging percentage coming into this game, first by far in the NECBL. 47 doubles, now it is 48, that's first, and 22 home runs atop the league as well.
So Plouffe also does not have an official bat on the line score here tonight. He reached on an error from Markey down at third base. It was a tough hop, but skipped right over his glove. Sacrifice fly is in play for Plouffe here in this at bat. That pitch again misses downstairs. Quickly 2-0.
Just got to hit it into the outfield here. Hogerson's got some wheels.
2-0 fastball again misses down by the shoe top, so Plouffe really in the driver's seat now, ahead 3-0.
Or just don't swing and let Gonzalez do it.
And he doesn't swing. Takes an inside changeup that missed. And a 4-pitch walk for Plouffe.
Wonder if there's any action in the bullpen here for the Bay Sox. Nope, there's not. Just some Gulls chatting it up. I think that's Nate Ryder there. He's been sensational this season.
So the shortstop, Jason Gonzalez, will try it again. He walked and scored back in the third inning. He's got 2 on and 1 away now. Schuster trying to calm himself down and work out of this jam. 5 straight balls now from Schuster. A fastball missed off the plate, 1-0.
Plouffe on first, he does have 2 stolen bases. That's half the total for the entire Gulls team.
Schuster gets his sign from Raposa, kicks and deals to 1-0. It's another changeup that missed in the dirt. It traveled about 55 feet that time.
The way Schuster's been struggling with location, not too much of a need here. Make him throw a strike, and I don't think you necessarily want to do a hit and run, just the way he's been struggling with location.
6 straight balls for Schuster in the inning now. Walked Plouffe on 4 pitches, now 2-0 here to Gonzalez. That one again misses. Another changeup down and in. Schuster perhaps getting frustrated with himself now, just 1 pitch away from back-to-back 4-pitch walks.
33 strikes, 27 balls. He's up to 60 pitches.
Needs to come back with a good pitch here, and he can't. Misses inside, and now it's back-to-back 4-pitch walks. Gonzalez reaches, and it's first, or the base is loaded now, excuse me.
4th walk of the evening for Schuster. Newport, 3 walks total, 2 for Smith, 1 for Burke. None of those 5 runs are earned, though, and now there's going to be a mound visit.
Pitching coach for the Bay Sox on his way out to the mound to talk to Schuster and figure out what's going on. It's bases loaded, back-to-back walks. Gave up the home run to Stevie Mangum to lead off the inning, then a double from Zach Hogerson. A ground up from Mazza to advance Hogerson to third, and then back-to-back walks have loaded the bases.
Here's Liam O'Regan. Got one of the loudest swings on the team, and that's saying something.
O'Regan filled in the second game of the doubleheader last week against the Bay Sox down at Paul Walsh Field. O'Regan coming in at .222, a home run and 4 RBIs, so you can definitely hit the ball with the home run.
In front of this hometown crowd from Middletown, Rhode Island, just a town away. A lot of fans in attendance here at Cardines looking for their Gulls to try and climb all the way back into this one.
So now 9 straight balls from Schuster as that one misses down and in as well, 1-0.
He had 4 home runs at Elon this past spring. That was tied for 2nd on his team. That was before he was injured when he was hit by a pitch.
This one is popped up in the air in foul territory. Henry retreating back toward the scoreboard area and will make the catch. So finally, Schuster able to get the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and that's a big one, too. Not deep enough, foul territory. O'Regan's frustrated at that. He was just a little late on it. He caught a lot of the play at fastball. That's one he usually would drive, but instead it's out number 2, and Tim Tawa now has got to go to work.
And it's back to the top of the Gulls lineup now, as Dave just mentioned. Tim Tawa in the right-handed batter's box. Base is still loaded and 2 away, and this one is fouled into the fence just in front of us. One of my favorite parts about coming to Cardines Field, I've only been here twice, but the booth is in the atmosphere, and I love that about Cardines Field.
Oh yeah. There's no booth. You're right next to the fans. Those lucky or unlucky enough can hear what we're saying. That's up for them to decide.
That one was lined down the first base side. Fortunately did not enter the Bay Sox dugout or the Gulls dugout. That one was a screaming liner off the bat of Tawa. So quickly 0-2 to the Gulls leadoff man.
We're batting .269, 33 RBI with 2 outs, runners in scoring position.
And that one is in there on the outside corner. Tawa is frozen at the plate. He can't believe the call, but he picks up the outside corner, and that is out number 3. But the Gulls are able to strike for 1 on the leadoff home run from Stevie Mangrum. It's now a 5-3 Bay Sox lead here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back at Cardines Field here in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. It's the top half of the 5th inning with the Bay Sox out in front of the Gulls 5-3 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It's Sam Henry, Rafe Chalmette, and Thomas Seidel due up. And it's Jeremiah Burke still on the mound. He's earned himself a 3rd inning.
He's been good.
He's been very good.
Just 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs. Coming in a very tough situation, holding the Bay Sox where they are with those 5 runs.
So Sam Henry is 0 for 1. He reached on an error and scored in the 2nd and grounded out to second base. Takes the first pitch that misses off the plate for ball 1. This one is launched into right center field. Tawa and Mangrum both on the move, and it'll be Mangrum with plenty of room to squeeze that one for out number 1.
First outs are key. That's what gives you confidence going forward.
Sounded a lot worse on contact from Henry than it was.
The center fielder, number 40.
That's something that Newport pitching has done particularly well this season. Leadoff hitters batting .353 against the Gulls, but as of late, that number has come down.
Here's Rafe Chalmette, the new batter in the lefty batter's box. Takes the first pitch, fastball that missed inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Good take by Chalmette on 1-0. It was a changeup. Missed off the outside black. 2 balls and no strikes now.
Burke had 1 game here against North Adams. That was his only time pitching at Cardines Field. Besides that, he's been on the road.
Chalmette lines this one and goes off of Burke's thigh. It deflects back toward the catcher, and Mazza will have no play, and the speedy Chalmette reaches with 1 away in the 5th.
Yeah, that one was right off his thigh. He was shaking it off a little bit, walking around. Laced there, and there was a second he was trying to corral it, but you see he kind of trailed off. It wasn't going to be a play. Tyler Infield coming in. Mike Coombs coming out as well. Wonder if Michelle is going to get the nod.
It's one of the scariest moments a pitcher can have is the ball coming right back at you. Not a lot of reaction time whatsoever. Burke's having a conversation with Coach Coombs out there on the mound.
Looks like he's saying he's good.
Nobody wants to exit a game courtesy of an injury, but
he's taking the ball from Mazza, rubbing it up himself, and saying, I want to stay in this game. Wonder if Michelle is the bullpen. Mazza just coming back. He's chuckling a little bit. Burke doesn't want out of this game at all, and rightfully so.
He's going to throw a few warm-up pitches, just make sure he's all right.
Trainer not coming out at all, but
I think Burke waved her off.
I think so too, yeah, with his glove. He said, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. He's a New Yorker.
They're tough out there. Speaking of people that know how to rub dirt on it.
Del Mar, New York.
Thomas Sadel is just to the left of the home plate area whenever Burke is finally ready. And he looks like he is right now, toeing the rubber and staring in to get his sign from Mazza as Sadel is just stepping into the batter's box now. Sadel will walk in the second and a fly out to center in the third as he takes the first pitch off the plate, ball 1.
Omar, just around Schenectady, Albany area, I believe.
Burke set with the 1-0 pitch, and Sadel moves the back foot out of the way. It was a changeup too far inside that time. 2 balls and no strikes.
I was going to mention his one game here at Cardines, 4.1 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 4 walks. He's like playing in front of the home crowd.
That pitch catches the inside corner. Nice tail back toward the inside corner from Burke. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Honestly, has the entire staff, 4.67 compared to 6.36.
Burke set with a 2-1 shot, man off for second. Low pitch, throw down from Mazza. In time to get Chalmette down at second base. He's caught trying to swipe second. So 2 away now in the Bay Sox half.
I mean, that is just an unbelievable throw. It had to be right there, and it was perfect. Plu didn't even have to move his glove. It was right there on the ground, and, you know, that's what Mazza does best. He's been doing it all season and continuing to show off his arm behind home plate.
Threw that one from a knee. That was a bullet down to second base, and like you mentioned, Dave Plu not even having to move the glove as Sadel fouls this one straight back. Count is now evened up.
Something Mazza did particularly well for Northeastern. 8 runners caught stealing. That was first for the Huskies.
Time called by Sadel up here at the plate. Big 2-2 pitch coming. Burke looking for the put-away pitch. Doesn't get it. Bat flies toward third base, and that gets past Gonzalez out there at short into left field. Sadel let go of the bat on contact.
Yeah, whatever. Nothing you could do. Hosey picks it up there, but just perfectly placed. I mean, Gonzalez had no play. It's just one of those things, but that throw from Mazza now looking to be very big. Just runner on first, 2 down.
Bat actually broke on contact for Sadel. All that was left in Sadel's hand was part up the knob. So he's aboard at first with 2 away, and Christian Ibar is at the dish. So he takes the first pitch fastball that missed upstairs for ball 1.
A lot of timeouts being called late. A couple on Smith, now a couple on Burke.
Pitchers, I've noticed this over the course of the game and other games previous to this one, is that pitchers, not only for the Bay Sox but for the Gulls as well, slow their pace down deliberately with runners on base. 1-0 pitch misses in the dirt. Mazza with a nice pick. 2 balls, no strikes.
Just got to mix up your looks, pay more attention to him. Can't let him get too comfortable. Sidle with about a 3.5 step lead. Now he creeps back a little bit towards first. Britton holding him on.
Burke set a 2-0, and Ibar chops this one down to third baseline foul. Not a lot of foul territory here at Cardines Field on either side, third or first.
Especially the third baseline. You see the managers, Greg Grawl, pitching coach for Newport, actually coaches third, but Cabe out there, not a lot of room when it's hit down there. You got to go against the fence.
Definitely have to be on your toes. The 2-1 pitch was popped up foul over the backstop and out of play.
One thing I have noticed, though, you know, school's out, the playground, this is probably the latest. We're past the 8 o'clock hour, and, you know, kids still playing, looking for another souvenir. Mangrum gave him one earlier. And if I were to guess, they don't necessarily care who hits it. They just want a ball.
Ibar sends this one the opposite way from the playground over the backstop and out of play yet again. So the count holds at 2-2.
Michelle warming once more. Now a couple fans just standing out there behind the left field fence near that house.
Big swing and a miss from Ibar on the upstairs cheese. So Burke is able to retire the side and get Ibar to go down by way of the K. Bay Sox not able to push across a run. It's still 5-3. We head to the bottom half of the 5th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Gulls in the home half of the 5th. Zach Britton, Cody Hosey, and Stevie Mangrum against Jared Schuster, who is still on the mound for the Bay Sox. He struggled a little bit with his control in the last inning, throwing 10 straight balls. But back out for a 5th inning. Chris Cade trusting him, facing the top of the order. First pitch, this one is lined into right center field. Sadel on the run, but that'll fall behind him and roll all the way to the wall. And Britton will pull up at second base. Throw was cut off by Allen out there. So it's a leadoff double for Zach Britton.
So Hogeson gets the double. And then Britton says, I don't think so. I want a share of the most doubles in the league, so I'm going to hit one as well. They both now have 8 and are just moving up together. That's one of the things. There's a lot of challenging between a lot of players on this team. There's a battle, righties versus lefties. Which side of the plate can get more home runs? We've seen Cole Austin, Hosey, then you got Dalton Reed, Zach Hogeson. They're just trying to push each other, and that's what really makes a great team.
They've been doing a nice job working as a team to claw their way back in the game as the first pitch strike is delivered to Cody Hosey, 0-1.
With the way Mangrum's swinging the bat, you got to give the edge to the righties. Just a few more in the lineup.
Mangrum awaits on deck. Had that moonshot of a home run over the left field fence. 0-1 changeup, excuse me, missed outside for ball 1. Britton aboard at second, nobody away in the home half of the 5th. 5-3, Bay Sox out in front. Schuster's set at the chest, kicks and deals. It's a fastball right down Broadway for strike 2.
Britton now on an 8-game hit streak. That average just shooting up.
Hosey looking to follow suit. Britton led off the inning with a double. He now stands out at second base. Schuster with a 1-2 pitch, and this one gets by Raposa to the backstop, and that will allow Britton to advance. So a pass ball there. And now the 4th run of the ballgame for the Gulls, just 90 feet away.
Newport with 4 hits. They've made 4 errors, but the home run from Mangrum. You got the double from Hogeson, taking advantage of a couple of walks as well.
Hosey is, all things considered, had his way against the Bay Sox. 2 home runs in games prior as 2-2 curveball missed up and away. The count runs full.
He's batting .600 coming into this game head-to-head against New Bedford.
Comes the payoff pitch from Schuster, and it's swung on and lifted in the air, but nobody will have a play as it goes up and over the stands. Count holds, and we'll do it again.
As a team, just 250, though. You'd expect it to be more. You're just considering the way Newport swings the bat, generally a .320 average as a team, but, you know, a good staff of New Bedford.
3-2 pitch, and he gets Hosey to fan on a fastball down and away, and he's retired for out number 1.
Yeah, nice pitch from Schuster there. Just got Hosey to chase. That's his 5th strikeout of the ball game.
Right fielder, number 22.
Stevie Mangrum up at the plate, and a great chance for he got another RBI. He was able to drive himself in on a solo home run to kick off the 4th inning. Comes the first pitch, and another home run swing there. Came up empty that time. Strike 1.
Yeah, just kind of swung over it.
Schuster working quickly. The 0-1 pitch misses up and in that time to even up the count on Mangrum. 1-1 pitch, cut on and miss on a fastball on the outer part of the plate. 1-2.
Yeah, kind of some two-seam action there. Arm side run, just skidded off the plate and ran away from Mangrum. He's now down.
Schuster set with a 1-2. This one's hit in the air to the outfield. Shaw met, and Sato coming in, and Sato leaning to his left will make the catch. The throw in will not be cut off, and the run is in to score. That's Zach Britton crossing the plate. It's now a one-run ball game, 5-4.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be deep enough. And Seidel out there did what he had to do, settled under it, got behind it. Just Britton with the wheels. It would have been a tough play anyways, but a nice sacrifice fly from Mangrum, his second RBI of the night.
I think if Seidel was there and was able to make the catch coming in on the run, he would have had a better shot to get the runner at the plate, but he had to lean to his left, might have lost it in the lights. Zach Hogeson, the DH now at the plate, takes ball one. It was a slider out of the hand of Schuster. Well, pitches a fastball pumped in there to even up the count on Hogeson, 1-1. Well, slowly but surely, it's taken some time, but the Gulls are definitely back in this ball game and very much alive. And a big cut from Hogeson on a fastball down by the shoot tops came up empty, 1-2.
Yeah, he likes it low and inside like that. That's how he scoops him over the right field fence. Just a little late.
1-2 pitch missed downstairs. A nice block by Raposa.
Hogeson batting .333 head-to-head against New Bedford coming into this game. 4 hits, but 3 home runs and a double. Added one more.
Schuster comes with the 2-2, and that one is rocketed down the first baseline, foul. Hogeson might have broke his bat. He's on his way back to the dugout looking for a new piece of lumber.
Slugging percentage over 1,000 for Hogeson versus the Bay Sox.
So Hogeson's back with a new bat this time. Switches from the solid black to the black and tan. So deuces are wild, 2-2 and 2 away. Here comes the pitch, and that one's in there on the outside corner for strike 3. So Schuster with somewhat of a bounce back inning, but the Gulls strike for one more. They claw ever so close there. It's 5-4 as we head to the 6th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Top half of the 6th inning here at Cardians Field in Newport, Rhode Island. 5-4, the Bay Sox are out in front. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Gulls, that's Austin Michelle. Dave, what do you have for us on Austin?
Michelle out of Dartmouth College, rising junior for the Big Green. 6 foot 195, righty out of Southampton, Massachusetts. No wins, no losses. 6 appearances so far this season. A 6.35 earned run average in 11.1 innings pitched. He's given up 17 hits, walked 5, struck out 14. His last appearance came in that close 6-5 win over Danbury on June 20th. Just 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 1. He also did a nice job in the Danbury win earlier that week in the 23-5 win game. 2.2 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
So he's in the ball game now for the Gulls to face the top of the Bay Sox lineup. Logan Allen standing just behind the right-handed batter's box, set to lead things off. Bay Sox trying to respond and extend their 1-run lead that was cut down last inning.
You know, Bay Sox 1 in the first, 4 in the second. Newport chipping away after that offensively for themselves.
Allen swings at the first pitch and sends this one to deep left field, and that is off the wall, off the 10 NBC sign. He's digging for second, and he'll get there easily with the stand-up double to lead off the inning.
Jumps on the first pitch he sees. You know, you get a new pitcher trying to find his rhythm. Maybe starts off with a fastball, and Allen wasn't going to let it go as he lines that one, you're right, off the NBC 10 sign. Very top of the fence out there in left field.
The shortstop.
So that's a quick way to jumpstart your inning, and that'll bring up Jack Winkler. Singled back in the first and scored, a sac fly in the second, and a walk in the fourth. Looking to see what he can do in the 6th with a man in scoring position. First pitch from Michelle. Winkler thought about it. And he did go around, so it is strike one to the Bay Sox shortstop.
Nice pitch there. Michelle had a 3.38 earned run average this past season for Dartmouth. That was first for the Big Green.
Winkler awaiting the 0-1 from Michelle. Here it comes, a curveball. Swung right over the top of it. Quickly down 0-2.
Yeah, he backs it up with another nice one. Winkler just having a hard time timing it up, but a lot of movement on the ball from Michelle.
So Michelle set at about chest level, kicks and deals the 0-2. It's another curveball, chopped right back to him at the mound. Looked Allen over at third and gets Winkler over at first for the first out of the inning.
Nice job. You come in, a loud double from Allen, but then you get the easy ground ball. He did advance, but now Kevin Winterrod will talk things over with Michelle. You wonder if there's some more action in the Newport bullpen. Already 3 arms being used for the Gulls in this ball game. Just some band work. You see Nick N right there warming things up. Been one of the most solid relievers for the Gulls so far this season.
Sometimes it just happens to be one of those games you have to piece things together. You get down early, claw your way back, and then you just have to use the pieces you have in the bullpen to your advantage. And sometimes you have to play matchups.
With the off day yesterday, they'll head to Plymouth tomorrow. Then on Friday, they'll face the Waves, and then they'll take on the Schooners on Saturday. So a lot of important games, all Southern Division opponents. And what we mentioned is a very close race.
Here comes the first pitch to Andrew Raposa, who is the new batter, and he chops this one foul just behind home plate for strike one.
Another off speed. Not letting him get comfortable. You know, it was Allen who jumped on the fastball, but since then we really haven't seen many.
Raposa in an RBI spot.
Infield in now.
The one pitch missed. Just down and away. Michelle set at the chest, kicks and deals, and Raposa nubs this one straight into the ground for strike two behind the plate. Another run to stretch the Bay Sox lead to 2 would mean the world with the momentum that the Gulls have been gathering. And the curveball dips too low in the dirt. A nice block from Mazza behind the plate to keep Logan Allen down at third.
Yeah, not a bad pitch. A lot of his breaking balls have been off the plate. This time he goes low. That's some good discipline from Raposa, not really biting on it. Michelle said he was working on his cutter, especially a lot last year in the Futures League. He was the 2017 Futures Pitcher of the Year.
Raposa takes a big swing at a fastball and fouls it straight into the fence behind home plate. So the count holds at 2-2 with one away.
Just trying to get more movement on his fastball. And, you know, once you get to a certain level, flat velocity isn't necessarily going to do it. That's something that he's really keyed into and done a good job of developing.
2-2 pitch is swung on and lifted over the head of Plew and into right field, a base hit, and that will score Allen from third. So Raposa picks up the RBI, and it's now a 6-4 Bay Sox lead.
And you wonder, had Plew been playing back, would he have had a play on it? Hindsight, obviously, 2020. Probably would have been over his head as well, but definitely would have been close. It's, you know, you roll the dice, you bring the infield in. Michelle, generally a very good ground ball pitcher.
So Ryan Markey, the third baseman now, will come to the plate. It's a 6-4 Bay Sox lead. He swings at the first pitch from Michelle and grounds it to short. A long run for Gonzalez. Throw over will not be in time. So it's 2 on for the Bay Sox.
Tough play. Thought about two. Had a hard time getting it out of his mitt. And then by the time he realized he wasn't going to get Raposa at second, he had to really try and muscle the throw over, and it was just high. Shortstop not his natural position. See a lot of arm there.
So it's the big man Buddy Hayward at the plate with 2 on and 1 away. First pitch fastball skips into the dirt. Nice block from Mazza. Hayward with a 6'7" frame, so a bigger strike zone for him up at the dish.
Ivy League matchup.
1-0 pitch is in there on the inside corner, paints the black. Nice pitch from Michelle, 1-1.
Hayward this season, 2-3 record, 14 appearances, tied for second. That was on the mound, 4.27 ERA.
1-1 pitch is swung on by Hayward and able to muscle it foul to the backstop. 1-2 now to the Bay Sox designated hitter. Big spot for Hayward, as another insurance run would be key.
He had 4 hits, 2 doubles at the plate for the Crimson.
Big looping curveball just misses.
Yeah, you know, by the time Mazza caught it, it looked like it was in the zone, but had so much loop to it, 12-6, that when it first crossed the plate, it possibly was a little high. Still close, definitely.
Pitch ended up belt high, and that one is a fastball fouled straight back just in front of us, so the count will hold at 2-2.
Hayward did have 6 RBI. Crimson won 2 out of 3 over the Big Green to end the Ivy League season this past spring.
Michelle trying to win the battle here. It's a ground ball to Gonzalez. Takes a nice hop to second for 1, on to first, and not in time as the throw skips away, and the run will come in. That's Raposa crossing the plate. And Hayward will advance to second on the errant throw. So it's now 7-4 New Bedford in front.
Yeah, seemed to be tailor-made right to Gonzalez. A successful flip over to Plu. He's able to get it out of his glove quickly. It was just a low throw, and it was kind of those in-betweeners where Britton at first doesn't know if he needs to scoop it or if he can catch it in the air, and right there, it just caught him in between.
So that'll give Sam Henry a chance with now 2 away in the inning.
The first baseman, number 51, Sam Henry.
So Hayward stands at second. He's there courtesy of an error. Henry trying to do some more damage for the Bay Sox in the inning. Sends this one on the ground right back to Michelle. He cut it off nicely. Throw on to first is in time, and that finally retires the side. But not before the Bay Sox strike and add a couple more insurance runs on the board. They now lead it 7-4 as we head to the home half of the 6th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back at Cardines Field for the home half of the 6th. It's the Bay Sox out in front 7-4.
We'll send things over to Aram Layton for an Around the League report. Aram, what's the league looking like?
As we said, the Ocean State Waves and North Adams game has been postponed. As we look over to the Valley Blue Sox Winnipesaukee game, it is 12-4 Valley over Winnipesaukee. Plymouth leads Keene 10-2, and it seems like all the runs were used up in those 2 games because Sanford and Mystic are still tied 0-0 in the bottom of the 9th.
Those are some interesting scores from around the NECBL. A lot of action tonight. Of course, 1 game postponed, but we've had an entertaining one here. 11 runs on the board between the 2 teams. It's John Mazza up at the plate for the Gulls, and he swings and lines this one toward first base on the ground. Henry will field that and tag the bag himself for out number 1.
Check swing, high and inside fastball, hit it on the ground, chopper. Just wasn't quite sure he wanted to go around. Definitely did not, frustrated there. You look at that 10-2 score, Plymouth. That offense has really come to life. Second in the NECBL. And they have such an impressive pitching staff.
That can be a scary combination for Plymouth if they can keep that going.
Certainly is.
Schuster still on the mound for the Bay Sox. I forgot to mention that at the top of the inning. Misses high with ball 1 to Dylan Plu.
Newport has yet to score a run against Plymouth.
This one is sent back up the middle on the ground, and it is off the glove of Allen over at second base. He's frustrated with himself. So Plu will reach. And go down as an E4.
Second time he's reached on an error in the infield.
Second error of the game for the Bay Sox. First one came back in the third inning, and it was Dylan Plew who also reached on an error from Markey at third base. That'll bring up Jason Gonzalez, who has 2 walks in the game, both in the third and fourth innings. First pitch from Schuster is a fastball that misses off the plate, 1-0.
Gonzalez still looking for his first official at bat here. Couple of walks.
Pitch number 89 on the way for Schuster, and it's a fastball in there for a strike to even up the count, 1-1. This will probably be Schuster's last inning of work. Chris Cave usually lets his pitchers go around 90 pitches. Plew aboard at first, and now Schuster will take a look over there.
I always like seeing the Vanderbilt cleats. They always stand out. Shiny gold, very sharp.
Schuster's 1-1 misses downstairs for ball 2. Got a lot of players around the NECBL with a bunch of different equipment that really stands out.
Yeah, it's always nice to keep track of.
Andrew Raposa, the catcher for the Bay Sox tonight, brought in a silver bat to batting practice yesterday. 2-1 count from Schuster, and it's a fastball that misses upstairs again. Schuster frustrated with that non-call. 3 balls and 1 strike now with 1 away.
Gonzalez swinging a grayish silver barrel with a black handle. Sounds like something I'd customize on MVP Baseball 2005.
Great game.
It is.
One of the most iconic baseball games ever made is that changeup just dropped in by Schuster for strike 2 to run the count full. Gonzalez is featuring the orange batting gloves as well with a shade of purple.
He's got the Franklin specials.
Payoff pitch from Schuster. Swing and a miss on an upstairs fastball. Schuster really peppered him with those in that at bat. And he gets Gonzalez to go down for the second out of the inning.
7th strikeout of the evening for Schuster.
The left fielder, number 30.
So Liam O'Regan now will dig in. He's 1 for 2 on the evening, with a double in the third and a pop out to first in foul territory in the fourth.
Head-to-head, Gulls have struck out 41 times against New Bedford pitching this season.
O'Regan went fishing on the first pitch from Schuster. It was a fastball down and away, strike 1. 41, did you just say, Dave?
That is through two 9-inning games, a 7-inning game, and 5 2/3 of the way through the fourth.
That pitch is up and in. O'Regan flinched at that one a little bit. Probably didn't expect it to be that close. 1-1.
When you strike him out 18 times to start off the season, that certainly gives you a little bit of a boost and some insurance.
Schuster came into this outing with 26 strikeouts. That was first on the Bay Sox staff. Big cut and a miss from O'Regan on a downstairs fastball for strike 2.
O'Regan, the only returning Newport Gull this season, was nursing a wrist injury that happened when he was hit by a pitch during his season at Elon this past spring, but his first hit as a Gull in 2018 was a home run.
Comes a 1-2 pitch and another swing and a miss, and he gets back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. Gonzalez and O'Regan both go down by way of the K, and it's still 7-4. The Bay Sox lead it when we come back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here for the top half of the 7th inning at Cardians Field in Newport, Rhode Island. And here to give us the play-by-play for the rest of the game is the voice of the Gulls, Dave Peck. Dave?
Thank you, Brendan. It'll be Rafe Chalmette, Thomas Seidel, and Christian Ibar, the 7, 8, 9 part of this lineup here for the Bay Sox. Still holding on to a 7-4 lead. Newport had a little bit of a surge in innings 3 through 5, but a nice inning. 4 batters faced there for Schuster, and 2 strikeouts, quickly ending any threat after Plew reached on the error. New Bedford scored 1 run in the first inning, 4 runs in the second, and they were able to tally on 2 more in the top of the 6th inning. Making it difficult on Newport, who's trying to climb all the way back into this one. Austin Michelle back out on the hill.
Leading off the 7th inning for the Bay Sox, the center fielder.
Schuster right now 6 innings, 4 runs, 3 of which have been earned off 4 hits, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. We'll see if he comes out one last time, but it's Michelle here for the Gulls who throws a first pitch curveball, and it's fouled off down the first base line for strike one.
Well, something the Bay Sox have done a nice job with tonight is putting up some runs on the board finally, and not having to rely on their bullpen to get them out of potential jams. And they haven't really been playing from ahead. They've had to come back in a lot of wins that they've had.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's the breaking ball again. This one drops in for strike two. So it's looping. He has a little bit of a slider action, but when he goes to the actual curveball, it's very, very over the top. 0-2 high fastball, easy take, ball one. You look back to that last game, 7-3 Newport won it, but it was back and forth the entire time. Bay Sox scored first in the bottom of the first, then Newport put one up. Went back a few more times. The 1-2 is waved a miss for strike three. One down here in the seventh.
Yeah, Sean, that just looked overpowered on that fastball from Michelle. It was inside where the lefties like it, but I think he might have been expecting something else in that particular count. Just swung right through it.
Michelle's first strikeout of the evening. Here is Thomas Seidel, one of two Harvard Crismen. First pitch swing, and this one line drive down the left field line, hooking foul. Almost caught the cameraman John Dilworth out there. You mentioned not much room here at Cardines.
Yeah, look out down there, down that third base line. Chris Cave was ducking for cover as well, and he has a helmet on.
Might have to use the camera lens to block it if it comes down one more time. Here's the 0-1 pitch, high fastball taken for ball one. Seidel walked and scored in the second, flew out to Tawa in center in the third, and had a single in the fifth. Michelle from the windup, 1-1 pitch, breaking ball in there for strike two. Haven't really been able to time it up from Michelle, the breaking ball.
Yeah, he's done a nice job integrating that into these at-bats against the Bay Sox, keeping them well off balance.
1-2 pitch, there's the breaking ball again, waved a miss for strike three. Back-to-back Ks, two down in the seventh.
Speaking of off balance, Sato was swinging off his front foot there, trying to catch up to that curveball that was down and away. Nice job from Michelle, picking up back-to-back Ks here in the seventh.
He does have good velocity, too, and that helps. He's able to back it up, but we've seen him go curveball, back it up a couple of times as he does it once more and gets Ibar to swing and miss on the first pitch. Even though they're seeing a lot of it and they're seeing it time and time again, he does a good job low and outside, locating it. And he drops in a fastball. This one just a little high, but changes the eye level, changes the perception when it's coming out of his hand. 1-1 pitch. This one's a curveball, grounded left side, and it'll get into left field for a hit. O'Regan fields it cleanly, throws it in, but it's a two-out single there for Christian Ibar.
Nice job by Ibar battling and not going down with 2 outs. You don't see a lot of guys battle like that with 2 outs in the inning, but Ibar got a fastball he liked on the outer part of the plate. Perhaps should have gone the opposite way, but lucked out and just found a hole in between short and third for a base hit.
New Bedford has not gone down in order so far in this game. Newport has just twice. The first one, they did have a runner reach, but Cody Ozzie grounded into that 6-4-3 double play, so Schuster faced the minimum. And here's the leadoff man, Logan Allen. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch is a fly ball, deep left field. O'Regan going back to his right, and he slips and falls. This one lands in fair territory, rolls all the way to the fence. And Ibar is being waved around third. The relay throw into Hosey, into home, is not in time. A close play as Ibar is just able to sneak under the tag. And now here comes Allen. He's all the way at third. As Mazda was having a conversation with the home plate umpire, Cameron Haney, Logan Allen went all the way around third. And now Mike Coombs is upset here as he is saying there is no way that it was still in play. There is no way that he was safe. And things are getting heated here at the ballpark. As it stands now, it is 8-4 New Bedford on top, but Coach Coombs is not happy. He is giving Cameron Haney an earful right now at home plate. He is furious, folks. And that is it. Coombs is out of here. And he wants more. Now he's getting his face. He's throwing Haney out. He's throwing Haney out of this ball game. Certainly he's going to stay in. I don't think he has the jurisdiction to do that. And in fact, I know he doesn't. But he is still jawing away. And Mike Coombs, you can see the steam coming out of his ears now. This is the first time he's been tossed this season, and now all 3 umpires are coming in. Kevin Winterroad coming out as well, and absolutely furious is Mike Coombs as he walks back into the dugout. boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow is the only way to describe what we just saw. That was an unbelievable turn of events in this ball game. O'Regan was going back. It looked like a playable fly ball to left field off the bat of Allen, and O'Regan just slipped and fell, and it wasn't really his fault out there.
And really credit, he slipped and fell, was able to get up, the really throw into Hosey. Hosey, quick release in and out to Mazza at home.
Yeah, the really throw was perfect. It was a dot on the line to Hosey to cut it off and fire into home to Mazza, and I thought the tag was in time originally on Ibar. Apparently, home plate umpire Cameron Haney saw it differently, but
definitely close as Mike Coombs is gone. Opens the gate and see you later. 8-4, Bay Sox on top in what has become an interesting top of the 7th inning. There are still 2 outs. Chalmette and Seidel both struck out swinging to start this inning, but boy, has it turned as the first pitch curveball to Winkler misses low.
Well, I thought Chris Cabe was the polar opposite of what Coombs just was in the face of home plate umpire Cameron Haney. That's the most animated I've seen a manager in the NECBL so far this season.
Another breaking ball. That's in for strike 1. And, you know, if you go back to the history books, Mike Coombs, he does have a history of getting behind his guys on the field. And, you know, if he doesn't like a call as that curveball drops in for strike 2, he's going to let him hear it. And he did right there. It's the first time he's been ejected. We've seen chairs that have gone on the field in years past. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, off the end of the bat, foul. Nice fight here from Winkler. He wasn't going to be fooled on that outside breaking ball. But, yeah, I mean, you know, when he sees something, I've talked to him about it. I said, Coach, you know, what's the over-under this year? Maybe, you know, times that you're arguing with umps. He said, no, it's not about that. It's about if I agree with the call or disagree with the call. And right there, clearly a very close play in a game where every run's going to matter. 1-2 pitch, fastball high for ball 2.
I think he absolutely had a case there. That was a very close play at home plate. Nonetheless, whether he was out or safe is out of the question now.
2-2 pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3. Third strikeout of the evening for Michelle, and he's able to strand Allen on third. But after all that, New Bedford gets one. They stretch their lead. 8-4 now as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll see if Coombs is firing up this Newport offense when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Good chance to sound off.
Fire me up, Mike Coombs. Bottom of the 7th inning, 8-4, Bay Sox on top. We have a pitching change here. Anthony Martino, right-hander on the hill, taking the place of Schuster. Final stat line for the starter. 6 innings, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned, 4 hits, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. Martino from West Sayville, New York, trying to keep the Newport offense at bay. He will face off against the top of the lineup, Tawa, Britton, and Hosey.
Now Martino, a late arrival to the Bay Sox, just arriving on Monday.
6'3", 205, rising sophomore, University of Bridgeport.
He was added to the roster yesterday morning. Was not eligible to play yesterday.
So let's see what Newport can do. Tawa is 0 for 3 on the evening. He grounded out to Winkler at short in the first, struck out swinging in the third, struck out looking in the fourth. As he bats here, his team down 8-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning, 8:45 on the eastern seaboard here in Newport, Rhode Island. Welcome in everyone listening across the country, across the world, perhaps. First pitch curveball misses off the plate for ball 1 in this matchup between 10-6, first place Newport, and 9-8, fifth place New Bedford, but just a game and a half back of the top spot. Here's the 1-0 high fastball, well inside, 2-0.
Now Martino features a heavy fastball, low 90s from what I've heard about him from our GM, Tammy Silvera. She was speaking very highly of him yesterday. See what he can do on the hill in his first appearance.
Working from the stretch, 2-0, ground ball. Third baseman Markey gloves it, fires it across the diamond. It's close, but it is in time. Nice play there by Ryan Markey for out number 1. Tawa trucking down the first baseline, and it was, I hit too hard at Markey. Quick transfer. Going off the strong arm, there's one gone. That, an infield single, if you're able to beat it out, it can certainly change the momentum, but to get that first one is huge, especially what happened at the top of the frame.
Absolutely. Tawa was scooting down the line, and credit to him, it was a nice hustle play, but you mentioned, Dave, the ball's not hit all that hard to Markey, so he really had to hurry on the transfer and get the ball over there in time.
First pitch fastball taken for ball 1 to Zach Britton. Britton with a walk in the first, flew out to Chalmette in center, and doubled. Ended up scoring in the 5th. Leg kick, here's the 1-0, big swing and a miss. We're now on an 8-game hit streak. Tied for first in the NECBL with his teammate Zach Hogeson with 8 doubles. Here's the 1-1, breaking ball misses low in the dirt. And a catcher, he's played a lot of first base for Mike Coombs. Keeping his bat in the lineup, pops this one left side, and it's going to slice into the grandstand for strike number 2. 6'1", 195 out of Louisville from Batesville, Indiana, past year. 21 hits, 16 runs, 6 doubles. Couple of home runs. 2-2 from Martino. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. Nice backdoor curveball. Caught Britton looking, and they're 2 down.
Nice pitch from Martino, as you mentioned, Dave, on the backdoor curveball. It's a good time to drop it in and pull the string on Britton. And probably wasn't expecting it. Probably was looking for a fastball, didn't get it, and was frozen up at the plate.
First strikeout of the evening for Martino. 2 gone in the 7th. Here's Cody Hosey. Number 3 hitter for Newport, 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch fastball misses high. And into that 6-4-3 double play in the first. Flew out to Ibar in left, and then struck out swinging in the 5th. 8-4, New Bedford on top, bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody on, 2 out. 1-0 pitch, popped up, foul down the third base line. It'll get up and out of play.
Better call.
Newport Glass.
Hosey batting .333, a guy who was drafted by the Kansas City Royals within the hour before his first game at home with the Gulls, as he lifts this one deep to left field. Ibar going back at the fence, looking up, and it is caught at the wall by Christian Ibar. And Hosey's still running as Ibar throws it in, but that will be out number 3. Goes all the way back and reaches up. What a play, as you see it on your screen there, tracking it the whole way, and times up the jump. Nice play from Christian Ibar. Newport goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 7th, still trail 8-4 as we head to the 8th right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. 8-4 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Austin Michelle back out on the hill. Things are heating up here in the city by the sea. It'll be Raposa, Markey, and Hayward due up to lead off the 8th inning. How about Christian Ibar? Not easy to time it up, especially without a warning track here at Cardines Field.
Absolutely. He did a nice job to track the ball off the bat and knew his first step was back automatically. And as he mentioned, no warning track, so he checked for the fence multiple times, was able to leap up and make an outstanding catch.
This pitch curveball taken for strike 1 to Raposa. You know what you're taught as an outfielder, you see it up in the air, you run all the way back to the fence, then you find the ball in the air and work backwards from there. He did exactly that. It was textbook. So you're not drifting. 0-1 pitch, another breaking ball. That one's in there for strike 2. Still a good amount of energy here at Cardines Field. 0-2 pitch, fastball hit on the ground up the middle. Gonzalez giving it a chase, but it rolls into center field for a leadoff single by Raposa.
Raposa now with a 4-hit day. That's definitely got to feel good. 4 for 5 on the day, 2 doubles, 2 singles.
And a couple of RBI as well.
Third baseman, number 6, Ryan Markey.
Raposa now batting .333. Here comes Ryan Markey. Had the sacrifice fly in the first, walked in the second. Then he flew out to Mangrum in the fourth and singled in the sixth. Markey, a rising junior at St. John's University. That's in the 4-hole. First pitch, chopped foul towards the screen, and that will get through the screen somehow. It'll be strike one, but a little bit of a hole in the fencing down the third base line.
Yeah, it looks like the fence is elevated above the wooden stanchion down there a little bit. So
nice bunting, decorating the stanchion. Stanchion, that's a good word. That's the word I've been looking for.
I do what I can.
Michelle from the stretch, the 0-1. That fastball just catches the inside part of the plate. Now down 0-2 is Markey. Quick check on Raposa at first. Britton holding him on. See the snack stand down the first base line there. Working hard, keeping everyone here at Cardines Field well fed. 0-2 pitch. There's the breaking ball. Bounces in the dirt, and Raposa's going to try and steal. The throw from Mazza goes all the way into center field. Good backup from Tawa. Probably would have been safe anyways. He had a very good jump, so it'll be a stolen base there for Raposa. He now stands on second with nobody out.
yeah, Mazza was in a bit of a hurry to corral that and make the throw down. I don't think he would have had a chance to get Raposa anyway had the throw even been on time and on target.
Yeah, the pitch was so low. Really no chance. 8-4, Bay Sox on top. Top of the 8th inning. Nobody out. 1-2 pitch, fastball chopped. Third baseman Hosey gloves it, throws it across the diamond for out number 1. Nice job giving a look back at Raposa to make sure he wasn't going anywhere. We have a lot of energy here down the left field line as well. You always like to see that. Summer is here in Newport. Now Greg Grawl is coming out to talk things over with Michelle. Coombs is gone, so Grawl is taking the managerial responsibilities, and he is going to take Michelle out of this ball game with 1 out in the 8th inning with Raposa on second. We'll get you the new pitcher and more when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We have a pitching change here from Cardines Field. It is Nick Enright on the hill for Austin Michelle. Enright, a rising senior at Virginia Tech, 6'3", 220. So far this season, 2-1 record, 2.81 ERA in 6 games. He's pitched 16 innings, giving up 14 hits, walking no one, and striking out 20. He was drafted by the New York Mets in the 19th round of the 2015 draft as he comes in and tries to keep this an 8-4 ball game. Raposa with the leadoff single, still second. He now stands there as Michelle's responsibility as it stands now. 2.1 innings for the Dartmouth Big Green. 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, 6 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Final attendance here at Cardines Field, 1,302, but the energy was certainly here, and it still is, as we can see. A lot of green over there down the left field line. Nice contingency of fans over there looking to be Irish, sporting their Celtic uniforms and cheering on the Gulls as loud as possible. And you know, Brendan, one of the biggest signs that it's summer here in Newport, not only are the Gulls playing, but we have the fans out there in left field giving us the soccer chants. It is World Cup season here.
Absolutely. That's what makes baseball baseball is the fans. And without them, you know, the NECBL probably wouldn't still exist today, but definitely good to see fans out here in full swing and full support of the Newport Gulls.
Absolutely. Buddy Hayward takes a first pitch low for ball 1, and you know that's what it's all about. You're seeing, you know, the potential stars of tomorrow playing right in front of your eyes. Enright from the stretch, 1-0 check swing, Nubber right back to the pitcher. Enright underhands it to first, 2 gone. Advancing from second to third goes Raposa.
There's those soccer chants again. Gotta love it, Dave.
It's awesome. It's awesome. You know, pumps everyone up. Brings some new life. They usually come around, you know, the 6th or 7th inning here, top of the 8th, 2 down, 8-4 Bay Sox on top, and they're trying to, you know, bring the luck of the Irish here to the Gulls, see if they can get a comeback win.
Rally caps.
Sam Henry up. That's from the left side. This pitch fastball taken for strike 1 on the low and outside corner. Henry reached down the air from Plew in the second. He ended up scoring, then grounded out to Plew the next time up. Flew out to Mangrum in right field in the 5th and grounded out to Michelle in the 6th. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball. This one misses low and inside, even things up at 1-1. Rosa led off with the single. He now stands on third. Bay Sox looking for some timely hitting out of Henry. Two-way player for the Bay Sox. Here's the 1-1 pitch, check swing. Weak ground ball towards the third baseman Hosey. Scoops it up, throws it to first. Close play, but he gets him by half a step to retire the side. So Enright comes in, gets the final out of the inning, and keeps the Bay Sox off the board in the frame. New Bedford still leads at 8-4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Getting right down to it here at Cardines Field, 9:01, just past the 9 o'clock hour here on the Eastern Seaboard. Dave Peck alongside Newport Gulls scorekeeper Andre Olivier, the voice of the New Bedford Bay Sox, Brendan Howe, and Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton. It's been one of those games here, back and forth early on. Newport able to get it to within 1. The Bay Sox doing a good job extending. They scored 2 in the 6th and 1 more in the 7th. We've seen managers thrown. We've seen umpires attempt to be thrown by managers who are already thrown. We've seen close plays at the plate. It's been really an entertaining ball game. Home runs to left field. We have a couple more innings of baseball. See if Newport can try and get back into this one. Only down 4, and Mangrum leading things off. They obviously have the big play opportunity.
It seems like every time that these teams have met, Dave, something interesting has happened, whether it's been a grand slam we saw in the doubleheader, or a couple of home runs in the second game of that doubleheader. A manager toss tonight, a couple of close plays at the plate. Home runs here again tonight. No fog, though.
No fog. Weather has stuck with us. It's been great. Clear skies. First pitch to Mangrum is a fastball taken for strike 1. Potential precipitation a little bit later on in the evening, but so far so good. Winds around 8 to 10 miles per hour. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, check swing. He went around, said Cameron Haney behind home plate. Mangrum quickly down 0-2. Struck out looking in the 2nd, had the solo home run in the 4th, and the sac fly in the 5th. Trying to lead off here in the bottom of the 8th inning, down 4. 0-2 pitch, fastball, fouled straight to the backstop. Nice fight.
Someone got the camera on the back of the backstop here, attached to the fence at Cardines.
6 camera setup here in Newport, Rhode Island. 0-2 pitch. This one fouled over the backstop, but then bouncing off the fencing. So still no balls and 2 strikes here to Mangrum. Remember, you can follow Newport Gulls on many varieties of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Another curveball. This one check swing. He did not go, so the count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. He laid off the low and outside breaking ball, but Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Newport Gulls. Keep up with the latest from your hometown team. Martino working from the stretch, sets the glove, high leg kick. Here's the 1-2, inside out swing, line down the right field line, but that will get foul over the warehouse and bounce on top of it down that right field line. We haven't really talked about too much the warehouse out there, but not a lot of space we've talked about in foul territory. The warehouse in right field makes up the line. So if you're playing right and it's slicing away from you, you have to make sure that you're not literally running into a brick wall there. 1-2 pitch, high fastball inside, taken for ball 2. To the scoreboard, black lit up with red numbers. Two balls and two strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside again, full count.
Sounds like Mangum has his own cheering section over here on the third base side.
Popular player, 4 home runs, already has 1 this evening. Drafted by the Red Sox. Key player for the Virginia Tech Hokies. And been a key player so far for Newport. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball taken for ball 4. Nice at bat, able to work all the way back and get the leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Your attention, please.
And the Irish folk like that down the left field line.
They've been loud all night long, ever since about the 6th inning when they got here. They've been very vocal. They've been made sure to have been heard here at Cardines Field in Newport.
Oh yeah, in Newport in the summer, a lot of exchange students from Ireland come over. Breath of fresh air.
Absolutely, it's definitely a nice feature here at the ballpark for Newport, and I'm sure the players love it as well.
As Dalton Reed pinch hitting, hammers this one into center field, and that one is going to be off the top of the fence, and now Chalmette puts his hands up, and that's going to be a ground rule double. So Dalton Reed coming in to pinch hit for Zach Hogeson, hammers the first pitch he sees and has himself a double. That one actually,
I think that got stuck inside one of the signs out there up on the fence.
didn't come down. That Pruitt chiropractic sign. A couple of times now that Newport hitters have hit it over that way, and this one not coming down, so ended up hurting the Gulls. Ingram easily would have scored. Instead, it's runners on second and third. Still nobody out. Newport down 4. And here is John Mazza.
The catcher, number 5, John Mazza.
Dalton Reed coming in, cold off the bench, but he doesn't waste any time. What a nice swing.
That's the hardest thing to do in baseball is come cold off the bench and deliver a hit. And of that magnitude from Dalton Reed, I know he's a big guy, but that one was dead center shot.
Mazza first pitch swinging, ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Winkler can't handle it, and that will score Mangrum from third. It's now 8-5. Newport trying to claw back. They cut it to within 3. That'll be an RBI for Mazza. They'll rule it an error on Winkler. It was a slow ground ball, but he bobbled it a couple of times, so Mazza will not be credited with the RBI, but Newport will, regardless, be credited with the run. And now we have another pinch hitter here. It's Jack Gethings, who's coming in for Dylan Plew.
Going back to that last play out at shortstop, I think Winkler was a little bit panicked. He realized he had a couple of runners on, and the runner was coming home, so he tried to do too much with it. Tried to make the throw before he had the ball in his hand.
Gethings nursing a little bit of an illness earlier this week. He bats .420 though. He's had a great start to the year, 21 hits. First pitch curveball bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. Still nobody out, 8-4, bottom of the 8th inning. Mangrum led off with a walk. He scored. Dalton Reed with the double. And Mazza with the reaching on an error from Winkler. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Martino, long pause, slide step. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball just outside. Gethings 5th in the NECBL with 21 hits, 3rd in the league with a .420 average. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball in there for strike 1. Gethings kind of got out of the way of it, but it had some run on it, came back in and caught the inner part of the zone. Two-one, slapped foul down the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the Fairfield Stag. 15 runs scored, 4 doubles, a home run, 9 RBI, 7 walks for Gethings. Martino comes to the set. Here's the break-even offering. And it's a fastball that just misses low. Now a full count here to Gethings.
Gethings doing a nice job putting up a good battle here against Martino.
Dalton Reed on third, John Mazza on first. Newport down 3, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Spoils that one foul into the netting down the third base side.
There it is again, Gethings. Being a little bit of a pest up there at the plate. Martino getting frustrated. He's fouled off a couple of tough pitches. The last two were fastballs on the outer half of the plate, able to just spoil him away.
Does it as good as anybody in the league. Gethings batting .500 with runners in scoring position in 14 at-bats. As the 3-2 is in there for strike 3. Looked to be inside. A lot of distaste from Gethings and Coach Winterroad. And now he's hearing it, but that will be out number 1. Winterroad giving Cameron Haney a little bit of an earful here. Already had Coach Coombs tossed earlier in the game. And now there will be a mound visit here for the Bay Sox. So that's a big strikeout. That's a big call.
Absolutely. Very vocal fans here supporting the Gulls.
Looks
Not
like Haney.
happy.
Looks like Haney just distributed a warning here to Winterroad. And a lot of chirps coming in from the fans around Cardines, but we'll have a pitching change. See if things can maybe settle down. Maybe the Gulls don't want them to settle down. Regardless, we'll be back just after this message right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. 8-5, slowly but surely Newport trying to make the comeback a reality here. 1 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dalton Reed on third, John Mazza on first. And a pitching change here for the Bay Sox. It is C.J. Dandino who's taken the hill for Chris Cabe's ball club.
Dandino in his 7th appearance so far in 2018, that leads the Bay Sox. 10 innings pitched, 7 hits, 7 runs given up, however only 2 earned, 7 walks, 16 strikeouts, a 1-0 record, 3 saves on the books, and a 1.80 earned run average. He's been part of the big 3 I talked about in the pregame show, coming out of the bullpen, sort of that 3-headed monster for the Bay Sox.
He will have his hands full. Runners on the corners, both responsible to Martino. And here's Jason Gonzalez. And you see Cole Austin, league leader in home runs, atop in many other statistical categories. He is on deck. Would be pinch hitting for Liam O'Regan. Gonzalez walked and scored in the 3rd, walked in the 4th, and struck out swinging in the 6th. Dandino, the righty, comes to the set. Here's the first pitch. Looping curveball stays inside for ball 1. We've seen it all in this game. And it could only get more interesting here down the stretch. 1-0 pitch, high fastball fouled straight to the backstop. Just couldn't quite catch up to it. And it'll move to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ingram led the inning off with a walk. He has since scored. 2-1, breaking ball lifted into deep right center field. Chalmette going back at the fence, at the wall, and he's able to make the catch right at the fence. Reed will tag from 3rd and score on the deep sacrifice fly, but these outfielders for the Bay Sox making plays left and right on the wall. We saw Ibar do it earlier, now Chalmette, and that saved potentially a big hit there from Gonzalez.
Yeah, Chalmette had a lot of ground to cover, was initially playing closer to the left field side than the right field side where he usually plays, and had a lot of ground to cover and was able to get right up against the fence, similar to what we saw from Ibar a few innings ago, and was able to leap up again and climb the wall to make the catch and potentially save 2 runs.
But it is just a 2-run ball game. Tying run is at the plate, and look who it is, Cole Austin. 5 home runs on the year. First pitch from Dandino is a fastball taken high for ball one. Mazza's still on first. Austin 278, 20 hits, 4 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, 17 RBI. 8-6 Bay Sox. Here's the 1-0. Big swing and a miss for strike one. And everyone who's been following Newport Gulls baseball so far this season knows what this kid can do, especially late in games. Dandino comes to the set. Leg kick, here's the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball taken for strike two. Austin tied for second in the NECBL with 17 RBI. Here's the 1-2, hit on the ground up the middle, and that will get all the way into center field for a base hit. Everyone moves up 90 feet. Runners now on first and second here with 2 down.
Good piece of hitting by Austin, not trying to do too much, just going with the pitch and taking it right back out the middle and keeping the Gulls inning alive, a two-way in a 2-run ball game.
Now here comes Tim Tawa. Leadoff man for Newport. He is 0 for 4 on the evening. Came into this ball game batting .455 for the Gulls. Use some late inning heroics. He represents the go-ahead run. 8-6 Bay Sox, bottom of the 8th inning. Runners on first and second, 2 away. First pitch fastball in there for strike one. And you know, one thing we've seen possibly is a strike zone that's a lot higher generally than you see in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's different from every umpire, but Cameron Hamey has featured a relatively high one, as you mentioned, Dave, and it's been that way for both sides, not just the Bay Sox, but all evening long.
0-1, nice breaking ball. That one catches the outer corner for strike two.
That's Dandino's best pitch, the curveball. We haven't seen it too much from him in this outing so far, but he does have a good one.
Mazza on second, Austin on first. Dandino gets the sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch, fastball. That one just a little high. Similar spot, though, to the first pitch that was called a strike.
Yeah, I thought that Cameron Hamey was about to ring him up, but apparently not. The ball, as you mentioned, Dave, was similar to the first strike call that we had in this at-bat, but Hamey ruling it just missing.
Tawa trying to extend the inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, chased and missed. Drop third strike. Raposa fires it down to first to retire the side. But Newport is able to get 2 more runs, reaching Austin, or plating Mangrum rather, on the air. Then the sacrifice fly from Jason Gonzalez. It's 8-6 as we head to the 9th inning here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. 8-6. New Bedford on top. Gulls able to get to within 2. They're trying to keep it at this and give their offense a chance for some bottom of the 9th heroics. Nick Enright back on the mound. He will face Rafe Chalmette, Thomas Seidel, and Christian Ibar. Had a nice inning after the leadoff single to Raposa. Was able to get 3 straight groundouts to the heart of the Bay Sox lineup. First pitch fastball taken for strike one on the outer third. Couple of defensive replacements for Newport. Cole Austin going out to left field. Jack Gethings now playing second. 0-1, foul to the backstop, 0-2.
With the way that Newport has responded throughout this ball game, an insurance run for the Bay Sox would go a long way in deciding this contest.
And it would be Britton, Hosey, and Mangrum, 2, 3, and 4, due up in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the 0-2 pitch, high fastball, easy take for ball one. Chalmette singled and scored in the second, had a single in the third, and had a base knock also in the 5th. He was caught stealing that inning. Struck out swinging his last time up. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one, swing and a miss for strike 3. Just blew it right by him. He swung really off balance there, and there's one gone here in the 9th.
Yeah, it's the second time back-to-back at-bats we've seen Chalmette look off balance on an inside fastball for strike 3. That time from Enright, overpowering Chalmette yet again.
One down, here's Thomas Seidel. Walked and scored in the second, flew out to Tawa in center, then singled in the fifth and struck out his last time up. Waves through that first pitch for strike one. Enright working from the windup, sets the glove at the belt. Mazza setting up inside. 0-1 pitch is inside but low. And the count will move to 1 ball and 1 strike. Enright winds and deals. Check swing, nubber down the third base side. That will get fouled though. 1-2 here to Seidel. 8-6, top of the 9th inning. Bay Sox trying to add. And Brendan, what you said would be a crucial insurance run here, just up 2. Newport has walked off on this diamond this season before, 6-5 over Danbury. Mazza setting up inside. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball blows it by him for strike 3. Second K of the evening for Enright, and there are 2 gone.
And Enright's really just bringing the heat here in the 9th inning. He's saying to the Bay Sox, here's my best pitch, try and hit it. If you can, great. I got 8 guys behind me willing to help me out.
He's going right after him, and so far he has come up on the favorable side. Now he'll face Christian Ibar. He's scored twice, has a single. Also reached on an error from Gonzalez. This pitch, fastball, taken for strike 1 from Enright. Oh, 1, foul to the backstop, now 0-2.
Something I've noticed in the inning from the Bay Sox, that's the 3rd time that's been somewhat of a defensive swing on a fastball up and in. Bay Sox not really sure how to handle it. It's coming
It's got some
hard out of the
two-seam
hand.
movement as well, so on right-handed hitters, it's coming inside. Here's the 0-2 pitch, fastball high for ball 1. Newport looking for its first 1-2-3 inning against the Bay Sox in this ball game. Mazza setting up inside. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball fists somebody, lifts it foul into the grandstands, and that's a souvenir for a lucky fan. Actually bounced in and out of his hands. You see behind our cameraman Dan Byford there. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the 9th inning. Ibar trying to extend this top of the 9th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball bounces in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good idea from Enright. Maybe a waste pitch on 1 and 2 there, trying to get Ibar to go fishing down in the dirt.
Just a little bit too in front, bounced about 58 feet. Now he looks in, gets the sign. 2-2, winds and deals. Breaking ball, gets him to swing for strike 3. Mazza throws it down the first baseline for kicks, but Enright strikes out the side. First 1-2-3 inning for the Gulls, and will go to the bottom of the 9th, 8-6. Newport looking for some heroics here in the city by the sea. Do not go anywhere. Bottom of the 9th inning. Newport down 8-6. Britton, Hosey, Mangrum, 2-3-4 due up here for the Gulls, looking for their second walk-off in 7 days. Exactly 1 week ago. Danino back out on the hill. First pitch to Britton is swung on, lifted deep to right center field. Chalmette now comes in on it and is able to make the catch for out number 1. He got a lot of lift, but it died up there and ended up being an easy play for Chalmette.
Yeah, Britton was able to square that one up. That we might be looking at a 1-run ball game on the first pitch of the inning. He got good wood on it, but was able to just get too much lift on it, as you mentioned, Dave.
So 1 down, here's Cody Hosey, 0 for 4 on the evening. Hosey with 4 home runs on the year. First pitch, fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Newport scored 2 runs last inning. Now trail 8-6. Trying to improve to 11-6 on the year. New Bedford trying to improve to 10-8. Got to within a half a game of the leaders here in the Southern Division. 0-1, breaking ball. That one runs off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Hosey. Dandino gets the sign from Raposa, working from the stretch. Late kick, here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, that one just a little low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Raposa wasn't able to put a squeeze on that one behind the plate, and if he had, it might have been ruled a strike because we've seen a bit of a rubber band type strike zone. It's been expanding and contracting as the game goes along.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball, that one is in there for strike 2. So Hosey being patient, waiting for something that he can drive. Mangrum is on deck. He does have a home run already in this ball game. Dandino from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Hit on the ground right side. Second baseman Allen backhands it, fires it to first, and it is in time, 2 away.
Nice play by Allen. Had quite a bit of ground to cover, moving to his right. Was able to pick it on the backhand. It took a generous hop toward him and was able to fire on to first in time to Henry for the out.
So Newport is down to its final out. Down 2 here in the bottom of the 9th. 9:30 your time here on the East Coast. But here's Stevie Mangrum. Walked his last time up. First pitch fastball from Dandino is taken for strike 1. So we've seen after Britton popped out to center, shallow center field on a first pitch, we've seen a lot of patience from Hosey, and now 1 pitch in from Mangrum. Here's the 0-1, another fastball, another strike, just on the outer third. So quickly down 0-2. Newport down to their final strike. Nobody on, 2 outs. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Dandino. It's a fastball taken high for ball 1. A lot of discipline there from Mangrum to lay off the high heat. Trying to work his way back into this count, extend the ball game. Dalton Reed is on deck. He has a pinch hit double already. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball spiked in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Raposa shaking up behind the plate the second time. He's taken one off the body in this game. That one looked like it got him off the shoulder.
Curveball was not even close, but just trying to get Mangrum to chase on it. These last 2 pitches, he's been locked in. Dandino with the long look, gets the sign, sets the glove at the chest. High leg kick, here's the 2-2. Curveball in there for strike 3. Mangrum ducked out of the way, it bends back, and that is the ball game. Newport falls to the Bay Sox 8-6. Now 10-7 on the year. New Bedford improves to 10-8, and that is how it will end. It's been a bizarre game and probably a fitting ending. Newport a little distraught, a curveball that probably bent in. Too close to call. We will have the post-game report and more when we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. So Newport falls in this one, a close affair. Final score, New Bedford 8, Newport 6. And they had a late couple of runs in them, but came up just short. Credit Dandino, he came in and shut the door on the Gulls, getting them down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Brendan, we saw so many things in this ball game. We saw early runs, we saw home runs, we saw doubles, errors, stolen bases, umpires potentially kicked out of the game, coaches actually kicked out of the game. The final score does not lie, though.
No, it doesn't, and it was a very fortunate win, if I'm being honest, for the Bay Sox, because their offense really stalled in the middle innings of the game, and Newport stayed persistent all night long. They picked up 2 runs in the 3rd, another one in the 4th, another one in the 5th, and 2 more in the 8th, but just couldn't bring across the final 2 in the 9th when it mattered. And credit Dandino, like you said, he did a phenomenal job out of the bullpen. He's been part of that 3-headed monster, as I mentioned earlier on in the pregame show, and when he entered the ball game, and did a really nice job out of the bullpen, doing what he needed to do and taking care of business and locking down the Bay Sox 10th win of the year.
13 hits for New Bedford, 6 for Newport, 3 errors for the Bay Sox, 6 errors for Newport. Obviously, that's a high number, something that Newport certainly has to figure out. They came into this game 21 errors, tied for 5th in the NECBL, but you put up 6 in the third column of the scoreboard. It's certainly not what you want. Offensively, 6 hits. Mangrum had 2. He did have the solo home run. Or 2 RBI, rather. The solo home run was his only hit. Dalton Reed with a pinch hit double. Cole Austin with the single as well. But it was just a game that really early on, taking advantage of errors, something we talked about a lot. Russell Smith, 1.2 innings, 5 runs, none of which were earned. Gave up 4 hits, walked 2, and struck out 3. Credit Jerry Burke. He came in 3.1 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk and a strikeout. And, the bullpen was good for Newport, but the offense was too consistent for New Bedford. And, the pitching staff, Schuster, 6 innings, just 3 earned runs, 4 runs total. Martino, he did run into some trouble later on in the 8th, but Dandino, like we mentioned, able to get that last out and shut the door in the 9th. Brendan, as always, a lot of fun here. We have just 2 more, if you can believe that, between the Bay Sox and the Gulls. New Bedford leads the series this year now 3 games to 1. And I'm sure the next one will be just as exciting. Thank you so much. Safe travels. And good luck the rest of the season till we see you again. The voice of the New Bedford Bay Sox, Brendan Howe. Now I will toss things over in the broadcast booth for the rest of the post-game report to Newport Gulls field reporter Aram Layton. Aram?
Thank you, Dave. The story of the game really was just a sloppy effort from the Newport Gulls. 6 errors, 12 strikeouts. It's tough to win a game when you have either of those, let alone both of those statistics coming along. 6 hits, generally below the average of what we see from the Gulls, 2 of them being pinch hits, 1 from Cole Austin and 1 from Dalton Reed. So only 4 hits from your starting 9. It's really tough to win that way. 6 errors is the most we've seen so far this season from the Newport Gulls. They've generally been around the middle of the pack in terms of defense. We've seen some players shuffle around. It was the first time Jason Gonzalez got a look at shortstop. He committed an error during the game, but it was pretty evenly distributed in terms of errors, and it's something that the Gulls need to bounce back from if they want to win games. You cannot commit 6 errors. I'm now joined by Dan Byford. Dan, what did you see from the Gulls, and what do you think led them to lose this game?
So I think their offense was there like it always is, honestly. And I don't even think Russ Smith was really pitching a bad ball game. He looked to have pretty good stuff. But in the inning he was chased from the game, it just piled up with all the defensive miscues. I'm not even sure you can call all of them errors, but some of them were just poor throw decisions. Some of them got over Britton's head at first. Some of them just pulled him off the bag. But when you're down 5-0, less than a third of the way through the ball game, and they've already gotten 2 looks at your starting pitcher before it's even the 4th inning, can't have that.
And the big thing is, if you look at the stats, only 2 of the runs that out of the 8 runs that the Bay Sox scored were earned. So even with Russ Smith getting knocked out of the game, he had no earned runs of the 5 that were charged to him. So it's pretty hard when you give up 7 unearned runs to even be within 2 runs, which the Gulls were able to do and keep it within striking distance. But they play a clean game here, and I think they're walking out of here with a win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you're looking at it without the errors in this game, or the miscues, whatever you want to call them, this might even be something like a shutout, something like that. Like, everybody pitched pretty well, I would say that. And you might have something now with Jerry Burke, which is nice to see. When he came in, it wasn't a high-leverage situation, but by the time he left, it was. And I think he did a really good job.
And it was nice to see Jerry Burke adapt to that long reliever position. He did start games in the beginning of the season. Now he's moved to the pen, and he seems pretty comfortable coming in that long reliever spot, which is something that the Gulls need because their bullpen has struggled a little bit, but now coming into the middle of the season, it's really settled down, led by Nathan Ryder. Hasn't even given up a run in 11 innings. Now we'll send it down to Dave Peck to conclude things.
Thanks, guys. Newport dropped this one. Final score, New Bedford 8, the Gulls 6. They fall to 10-7 on the year. New Bedford improves to 10-8. The Gulls will next be in action tomorrow when they head to Plymouth, Massachusetts to take on the Pilgrims. They'll be at home on Friday night against the Ocean State Waves in game number 3 of the Pell Bridge Series. We'll have that action for you. First pitch at 6:35. I'd like to thank everyone a part of this broadcast this evening. Our executive producer, Tom Lima. Our producer, Shannon Carlson. Our audio technician, Dan Byford. Joe DeLeon is our on-site engineer. Tess Rote is our production assistant. Andre Olivier, our statistician. Our field reporter, R.M. Layton. And for the voice of the New Bedford Bay Sox, Brendan Howe, I'm Dave Peck saying so long from the city by the sea.